Hello and welcome, finally,
Oh my god, he's fucking got it.
63 of the Chronicles of Nidum.
Yeah.
Episode 63 of the Chronicles of Nidum. We are very, very sorry for the technical difficulties.
Not we. You.
Fine.
No one else is responsible.
I am very sorry for the technical difficulties that we have experienced. Can everyone please let me know whether the sound is okay?
Oh, I can check that for you.
Yes, if that's all right. If my
That sounds rubbish to me, mate. That sounds really that's really bad. It's like a feedback.
The music's a little loud.
Like a buzzy.
Yeah, dude. If you're playing music, it is horrendously loud.
Dun, 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 dun,
Also, I can't hear the music in Sirenscape.
So I forgot to turn off the media source.
Yeah.
I was listening to.
You can probably hear me in the background. I do apologise. I'm off now for that.
No, it's funnier. Stay. Be amused.
Thanks, mate.
Music is hella loud. Sorry, what was the music, Bri?
Music should now be off.
Bri was just listening to a bit of ABBA.
Yes, the music has gone.
I accidentally included it in the stream.
You're doing great. Keep at it.
Bri,
You're doing great, sweetie.
the way Bri hypes himself up is he sings Dancing Queen at himself.
Dancing Queen.
I'm gonna just bring the rest of us in so you're not alone on the screen.
37.
Just bring us in, Bri. Call it
Just
good.
bring us in.
Sponsored by. Hey, you've done this before. Come on, lad.
Title of Order sponsored
There you go,
by
Sirenscape's working as well.
OBS
now.
Studio.
Okay, right. Okay.
Bye.
So, before I get into the rest of it, and possibly jack all this in, and just because why would I continue to put myself through this every week?
Let's play Valorant.
A word from our sponsors, or about our sponsors. Loki Battle Mats, first of all, an amazing, award-winning UK-based TTRPG accessory creator. There are many books of
1
battle
week
mats.
off and it's all gone to shit.
Little big and giant sizes are full of amazing artwork that add an awesome backdrop to any tabletop game. If you're interested in finding out more, search Loki Battle Mats on Facebook or visit lokibattlemats.com to view their amazing artwork and shop their digital and physical maps.
Right, why don't you just put the battle map on the screen and show everyone what Loki battle maps look like?
Because I haven't fixed your cameras on the battle map screen, so fuck off. Our second sponsor of the evening is
I can't see your shirt, Em.
Blink Dog Dice.
No, it's because the screen's only on Bri.
A small dice maker based in Cardiff with amazing examples of their work available on their Etsy store. Please search Blink Dog Dice, all in one word, on most social media platforms, and the same goes for Etsy too. And please go and show them some love. Okay, not that they deserve the attention, but
Fuck you then, do it on your own.
Yeah, play D&D by yourself, see how that goes.
5 seconds ago, those out to lunch messages were under the camera. What the fuck
Em
is
isn't
going
out
on?
to lunch, what the fuck?
Em is right there.
So
Look
just
at them.
click on them. and then click
They're
on the
gone.
eye.
They're gone.
Jesus wept. You actually put both of them on.
Right, can I be out to lunch now?
How you stream on your own channel? How are you?
Million muted.
I was going to say, sorry. Yeah, you've been it's using
I don't know.
setup, isn't it? It's really confusing. I get it.
Now
I
you
don't
can
know
see
how
why
I'm
Em
gonna-
shirt is appropriate.
I don't know how I'm gonna pull this back and like role play in this game.
I've
Now.
got it. Last week, or rather the week before, on the Dice of Beholder Chronicles of Nidum, everyone just fucking sparred on the train and Oriana
Yes.
did fuck all.
Last time on the Chronicles of Nidum, having met Quill and taking residence in the first-class carriage that Quill had acquired for themselves, the party decided to test out each other's abilities. Oriana,
Did you say themselves about Quill?
you're gonna have a go at me now for getting.
No, I'm saying
for
you've been getting
sexist.
sexist gender
Respect the
wrong for
pronouns.
like 70 episodes, and now I've got now I swapped to a character that has he/him pronouns, and you're gonna get those wrong as well.
You decided to test out the length and breadth of each other's abilities. Oriana decided to sit this one out so that they did not destroy the train carriage or themselves. The rest of you discovered quite quickly that Quill was very fast, nimble, and quick, and useful in battle.
Fast and quick.
As both Dice and Ace found themselves outmatched in their sparring matches. Whiling away the hours then until evening, you, Quill and Dice, both decided to still make Dice's nightly jaunt to the slave carriages at the rear of the train so that they could introduce Quill as another friend to the humans and benefactor. It was on the return journey, having unfortunately been discovered walking along the top of the train by one of the guards, that Quill was almost killed. Until a timely intervention by Dice, a very handy cure wounds spell, and a very decisive beheading by Quill meant that there was one less Inquisitor on the train. You returned to the room to some foreboding tarot readings, and that is where we left you. In conversation,
Hello.
after having been given a foreboding tarot reading, there is an echo, and I think I haven't turned the fucking audio off, or the volume off on the laptop behind me.
I think Brian might just give up and have a lie down at the halfway through this at this rate.
Never give up. Never
Never
surrender.
surrender.
Just
Never gonna give us up. Never gonna let us down.
Several nights a week, and I know it's easy to cock and forget some things, but jeez.
It's just we were in a bit of a hurry coming home today. Like, all credit to Brian, he has been in a bit of a rush this evening. I know I'm taking the piss out of him, but you know, to also be nice.
We don't. Yeah, you need to do that because you have to deal with him after the stream. But we don't have
Right? Nightmare. Sorry.
Love you guys too. But yes, we left you in conversation, having not actually gone to bed after the foreboding tarot reading from Oriana.
Wasn't entirely foreboding.
Shout out to
That's
Biggie
what it is.
for
I'm just going to look at my
5
notes.
months subscribed, by the way.
Way, thank you, Biggie.
Just going to overlook my 10 months away.
I was going to say, if you
You
want to...
fucking work here.
Ori's looking at the tarot notes, Bri.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we can remember what the heck was said, because we don't. It's been 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, because the last one was you've done something morally not right.
Is that for you or for...
Oh no. That was the reading for everyone.
What did we
Or
do
someone.
that's morally wrong?
I don't know. I honestly, I'm starting to think that this deck of cards isn't... I mean, it's not complete, so I can't be held completely.
Yeah,
You know-
it's already a little off because it's not complete, but
It is missing a card. I'm
Maybe
starting to think I need a new deck or a new way of
Try
centering. I
runestones.
don't know.
when we get to
Oh
Paris,
god, no, not runestones.
we could have a look for a new deck while we're in Paris.
Possibly.
See if we can find one for you. I'm,
Maybe. Something similar. I'm starting to think cards aren't really my thing anymore.
Wheel of Fortune? Just
Or a pendulum.
Pendulum. That makes much more sense than a wheel.
Something. Or maybe just good old fashioned clairvoyancy.
Well, it won't necessarily tell you what you've done, but it might tell you where we're going or help. I'm probably
True.
going to go to bed. I've had a lot of combat today, and I'm very short of
Yeah, you all look absolutely
Also-
fucked. What have you been doing?
I would also very much like
Shuffling.
to sleep.
Well, obviously we had the fight on the top of the train, and we got rid of one more Inquisitor.
You had a fight on the top of the train?
Yeah.
Yes, we certainly did.
Like one of those old Western stories that Ace's pa used to read.
Yeah, we did well, but, Quill nearly died.
Used to read westerns.
Sometimes.
I didn't feel like I was out for that long.
You weren't, but you definitely almost died. I saved the day, so.
True, yes, you did. Dice was fantastic.
Aw. Now you're being all sincere, it takes all the fun out of teasing you. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
I would also like to go to bed.
I'm going to go spoon Ori.
All of the
Come to me.
Do we have a dreamless sleep DM?
Is there anything
DM's still
anyone?
uphill, yes.
No, is there anything anyone would like to do then before they go to sleep?
The thing we talked about with the 2 spells. Am I able to do that yet, or do you still want more time to work on that?
You can start thinking about it and researching them.
Yeah.
So as you go to bed then, Oriana, having much heavier arcane things on your mind. Roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, fuck. Uh, 15.
15? Okay.
Yes. 1-5.
Bringing to mind then the tarot and how it doesn't feel right for you anymore. And every time you do read it, you feel as if it's not the cards speaking to you, but something else. As you fall asleep, in fact, you find yourself in the cloud. There is a vapor around you, as if you are lucid, literally falling asleep through the mists of dream. And suddenly the mist clears, and you see before you a dark landscape, wind-blasted, sandy. You can see the stumps of burnt trees. And sleeping in a camp, alone, in the middle of this landscape, is a man. At this distance, you can't make out any detail, but he is immediately familiar to you. Black cloak, black clothing. You see, still on his belt, even as he lays there, the hilt of a bladeless sword. You start moving towards him, and you get the sense, if you could just find a way to touch him, his sleep would not be so restful as it looks now. He starts to twitch, he starts to move, shuffle, jerk, and then he cries out. The mists return. You dream no more that night. But you are, or when you wake the next morning, there is a sense that with a little bit more research, a little bit more just talking to other bards, perhaps other sorcerers, other wizards, there may be a way to turn your attentions towards scrying, possibly seeing into the future, maybe even affecting other people's dreams. You're a wild magic sorcerer. There is probably very little limit to what you can do if you put your mind to it. The rest of you have a very restful and dreamless sleep. You wake the next day. Quill, you can all click that you've had a long rest. I'm assuming Quill is the happiest one of you.
I don't know. we've had 2 fairly intense fights. Quill had 3. But Quill took less damage.
Okay.
I took less damage in the sparring. I took a lot more damage in the nearly getting murdered by inflict wounds.
Yeah, weird.
How many Inquisitors does that leave us with now?
3.
3 on the drain, I believe.
Okay.
Now, would you all like to do anything today in particular?
Are we still quarantined to our room?
At the moment, you wake, your waiter comes with breakfast, arranged at a reasonable time.
Quill,
Yes, sir.
and I can't believe I'm about to ask you this. Do you have any books on scrying or the dream world? Or dream realm?
Well, I feel like I would, but Bri, do I have any books on scrying or the dream realm?
A little. You do have a few. You can't see why they could possibly be of use, but yeah, you can probably grab something out of your library.
Yes, I have 1 or 2. What particularly are you looking for?
Something about dreaming and affecting dreams.
I will have a look through the library and see if I can find anything appropriate.
Okay. There's 1 or 2 books in there. You don't have anything in particular on scrying. There are, however, a couple of books in there that discuss dream walking. So entrance. It was done by someone who studied detect thoughts and how to inflict psychic damage and those kind of spells.
I was going to say if this matters to you at all, I've got a couple of psychic-y spells in my spell book. So I have detect thoughts. I have Tasha's mind whip.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it for that kind of spell. I guess I have Spirit Shroud as well. I don't know if that's super relevant.
But you've got enough in there to allow Ariana to be getting on with. So that's fine. You can do that. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do?
No, I'm just going to read the book.
Okay. So just to confirm then, if everyone's happy, we're going to go for a bit of a small time jump.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay. The next few days pass quite uneventfully. You are quarantined, however, small news is brought by the waiter most mornings, lunchtime and evenings about the goings-on of the train. Nothing really has changed. The 3 Inquisitors that are left, as the waiter gets much more comfortable with you, he starts to comment on the fact that the 3 Inquisitors that are left seem wired, exhausted, a little bit on edge. A couple of them are starting to look quite pale and drawn, as if they're getting very little sleep. You are not, in this time, visited by Natasha.
Well, I wonder if... sorry, I was going to say, I mentioned to the rest. I wonder if that's something that we can, after the waiter's gone, obviously. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's something that we can make use of, whether we can prey on that a little bit.
Let's do them.
Well, or just make sure that we're not giving them any time to rest. You know, you don't have to do anything extreme or permanent, but just, something going bump in the night every here and there, so that they don't feel that they can settle into complacency.
Well, I've still been visiting the humans in the evening. Perhaps when doing that, I could find a way of... Because there's people in this supply carriage at the end of the human carriages. There's 2 Inquisitors in there, I believe.
Mm.
Perhaps we could do something with that. I don't know what quite, but I'm already down there. It would be easy to do something.
Yes, and perhaps if we also did something a little further forward in the train now and then, so that we are a little less predictable.
Well, what are you thinking of doing? What do you think would be an idea?
Maybe some small items go missing.
Petty crime.
Yes.
Well, that does sound fun.
I mean, if you're any, I mean, I'm not exactly subtle with stealing things, so it's not really my forte. But
I'm not super comfortable with crime.
Well, we're going
what if the crime were
at
against?
least it's not murder.
What if we stole
That's
from the
true.
Inquisitors?
And give
All the
back to the
nobles.
humans?
I mean, they probably won't want what we steal. It's.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
I mean, keep in mind, Ace, we are fully intending to kill these people. They are not going to walk off this train alive.
We've straight up murdered people. Stealing from them now?
We've straight up murdered Inquisitors. They deserved it, not, normal people who don't deserve it. But
I mean, we say they deserve it. Their only crime is being an elf and an inquisitor.
The
We've
Inquisition.
never actually known what their personal backbone was.
The Inquisition is quite horrible.
it's an entrenched.
No, don't get me wrong. I have no qualms with doing it. I'll do it again.
Pop pop.
Anyone who is willing to work with his rather wonderfulness, the Inquisitor himself, and does so with a clear conscience.
How can you say that with a straight face?
I know, I was really proud of that. I worked
Yes.
so.
Have you had training in the theatre?
I'm so proud.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Rosette said he can't last more than 2 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
2 minutes of what?
Oh, honey.
Oh dear.
You know when you're polishing your armor, and that usually takes you about a while.
Quill is looking
Because I-
anywhere except at Ace.
Yeah, because polishing takes a while.
Yeah,
If you're doing it right.
exactly.
Well, polishing other things should take a little bit longer than 2 minutes too.
When it's done right.
Anything, Ace?
Oh.
Or if you're any good at it.
Does Ace
Okay.
does Ace
Ace
want to roll?
is just gonna
Does
go,
Ace want to
like,
roll the nature
red.
check?
No, Ace is going to know exactly what they're on about now. Ace is going to be like a little light bulb just goes in their brain.
Okay.
And they're going to go like beetroot red and just end the conversation there.
Oh, the fucking
I'm going to
nature
pat-
check.
I'm going to pat Ace on the shoulder as I walk past and go, it's so hard to polish a helmet. Thanks,
Oriana just spits coffee.
Phoebe.
Oriana, I didn't think you were the sort to spit.
Depends on the situation.
It's
I
well,
won't make a comment on orcs.
I do wonder actually if that's part of his terrible personality, is that he's compensating.
Oh, definitely.
To be that level of dick, it does seem likely. Ha! Level of dick. Sorry.
Sounds like the level of dick isn't too high.
It's a
Right,
two-pump wonder. Sorry, Ace.
It's okay.
But Ace, I promise we'll try not to steal off people we are not later intending to murder, if that helps. Does that
Or
help?
anyone it would actually
Yes,
deeply
that's
affect.
Fine.
You don't have to be part of it.
I mean, I'd suggest Ace wasn't
I-
personal.
I was going to say, I think that it would possibly be very helpful if one of us at least were to stay here in the carriage in case anyone knocks.
Oh, I'm going to stay in the carriage. There is no way I can be subtle enough. You want a distraction? That's me. You want me to do something on the sneak?
Actually, a distraction might help.
Yes, well, I mean, if
mean,
there's a
so-
distraction at one end of the carriage and I'm stealing at the other end of the carriage.
Certain members of that sort might find you very distracting, Oriana.
Particularly, you could always change race and be as beautiful as you are normally, but a very beautiful elven woman lost in the train who's missing her carriage. Oh,
Except they have a record of everyone on board.
Yes, it would be a little surprising if a beautiful whitefish elfin maiden suddenly appeared between stops.
Ori is rarely wayfish. But
Oh, okay, a beautiful, thick elven maiden
Thank you. Better.
Again, would be a real concern appearing between stops when they know everyone who's on board the train now.
Yes, no one could fail to have noticed Ariana in whatever form she takes, I'm sure.
Elves have very flat bottoms.
Sorry, excuse me?
Flat bottoms.
Flat-bottom elves, they make
Yeah,
the rocking world go round, is what I've heard.
I thought you said fat, and I was just like, what elves have you been looking at?
Oh, flat. You know, they're quite...
Not a lot to look at.
Beanpole, I think the word you're looking for is.
It is
No,
true.
I don't feel that we need to tear down other body types in order to make ourselves feel better.
I never said there was anything wrong with it. I quite like it.
It's not an insult, it's just a type
Observation.
an observation of the elves we've seen. That doesn't mean, however, that that's all the elves there are. We don't see that many elven women. Most of the ones we see are angry elven men.
No, because the women seem to have more sense and
Above.
are sorely in need of help.
Oh, and of course, the noble lady, the one in the vineyard who's...
Yeah. Who hadn't had a good scene to.
She had a lovely bottom.
Hmm.
I got
I'd
sight.
say I looked.
Really?
Yeah, so robbing from the Inquisitors to cause a distraction. Or even if we just beat one of them up.
Then they'd definitely
Attack them, beat them up, get away, although...
they'd know who
'cause-
they were.
I'm a little concerned that if we go too far, there are still more stops. Are they going to be
They'll put more
making
Inquisitors
contact
on
with...
board.
Yes, I'm wondering whether they're going to be making contacts with outposts or...
Why are we doing this again? Why are we stealing from them?
just so that they don't get any sleep. You know, if they feel they have to be constantly vigilant.
I mean, there's something I need to practice.
Which is what?
I'm trying to find out if there's a way I can disturb someone in their dreams.
This seems like an ideal way to practice.
My dear Ariana, I'm sure that you haunt the dreams of many young men, but I don't understand how that pertains to our current situation.
I'd like to control the dreams and have it add a horror aspect.
Seems interesting.
Sort of an induced nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, you could try it and see if it works.
I mean, carry on with your plan, because I don't know if it's going to work, and I might just end up turning somebody into, I don't know, a
newt.
mindless zombie.
A newt?
It's probably easier.
Get better.
Last
See.
time I checked, I can't polymorph. Nanny could.
She could
Granny was very good at doing that.
Um,
Threatened to turn me into a toad every other Thursday.
You'd make a very cute toad.
I would.
Quill, you could do the stealing. I can continue to feed the humans, and Ori can try and disturb their dreams. And Ace, I think you said you'd rather not traumatize people.
Yeah. If we don't have a 100% certain on what their intentions are, then I'd prefer that we didn't traumatize.
Hey, if I
them,
see
but,
anything
you
in
know.
their dreams that, confirms it, I'll let you know and you can go after them.
I mean, sure, we can make a list.
Make a list of what the Inquisitors dream about.
There's only 3 of them. It will be a short list.
But I'm interested to see what they do dream about. I've never been in someone's dreams, but Ori can tell me.
Do Inquisitors dream of inquisitorial sheep?
Very-
No.
Counting sheep.
That's a niche joke, Rich.
I've changed my mind now. You do have something to apologise for.
Come on.
That was a great Blade Runner joke. Come on.
There was a reference that Millie got.
Yeah.
See, I don't think of that as
didn't
being I don't think of that as being a Blade Runner joke. I think of that as being an Asimov joke.
Also, chat. Yes, check it twice. Got to find out if they're naughty or nice.
We firmly
Ariana sees them when they're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when they're awake.
They'll always be awake if we get our way.
They'll never want to sleep again. That's if I can get this to work. I don't know if I can get this to work.
try it and see.
I'm essentially trying to combine 2 spells into a third.
I made sending stones that mean we can talk to each other. Oh, Quill, I need to make you a set.
Of
well,
what?
They're sending stones that can send a message to anyone in the group twice a day. Or to everyone in the group. So they're like linked together rather than the sending spell, which is one person to one person. this is either one person to the group or one person to one person within the group.
Dice, make an intelligence check with advantage.
An intelligence check with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, it's a good thing it was with advantage because one of them was a 2. But the actual final score... No, I don't need to look at red ballet dresses. I need an intelligence score.
Or red ballet dress.
21.
21.
21?
As you look at the sending stones in your hand, and you look around the room and you realize that you have to make a new one for Quill, there is someone missing from the group that is still potentially wearing one.
Yeah. What's your point?
Can they track us with that?
What, sepsis? No, I
Yeah.
shouldn't. But they don't work like that. They're linked together.
Okay, I'm just putting out a blanket rule right now. If Sepsis contacts any of us, we don't tell them anything.
No, but I think we could contact them and see if they're still alive.
I thought this Sepsis was your friend. What's your...
They did.
I'm a little concerned by a potential conversation they had with the Grand Inquisitor.
A couple of other things as well.
I feel like he may have made an offer that they couldn't refuse.
Okay, well that is certainly concerning.
Yeah.
I also have concerns that they may have helped kill elven guards previously and then lied about it. And other stuff as well. Sepsis was complicated.
Just don't trust them.
But don't trust them. But I could cut that particular stone off. Theoretically.
Is that possible?
Well, there's a web that holds onto the central stone that theoretically I could remove one strand from and it would cut off that stone. But if we ever need to get in touch with them, why we would, I don't know. But they were our friend for a while, and
I don't feel right not giving them the chance to speak to us again
they would be.
if they needed help.
I mean, being able to contact them might be helpful as well.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that if they contact us, we don't give them any information about where we are or what we're doing.
No, and that they haven't so far, despite knowing that they have the stone, is a concern in itself. Are they dead? Is Sepsis dead?
Well, I should point
They
out
were
that
very
you
much
also
alive when they
haven't.
left.
You also haven't contacted them.
I'm mad at them. They dropped a big celestial monster on us.
I don't think they knew that was going to happen.
They read a very nasty
Dodgy book, yeah. I don't think there was any way of knowing what was going to happen when they finished the book.
I mean,
And
I
they
think
did
the contents would give you a
run.
hint.
I can understand the theory between running of that thing was after them, so they disappeared. They couldn't have really known that that thing was going to come and kill anybody in sight anyway. But
I
I
just
could
don't
ask-
know what their intentions were.
I could ask how they are.
they said not to try finding them.
I
And
know
I guess that
finding them.
extends to contacting them.
they didn't specify, but they haven't tried to contact us, I guess.
Yeah.
And also, that's
Anyway, Krill needs a stone.
yeah, I can work on that. I'll do it in the meantime.
Okay.
I'll work on
Thank
it.
you. Much appreciated.
Out of character, is one still with us?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
Yeah.
So, in the-
One.
So I wasn't here for the big bad. I was just like, did one survive this?
One, especially you, Ace, one you find is silent 90% of the time. They very rarely speak up, and if they do, it's normally quite an insightful comment, or just to ask a question to clarify a point that's being made by someone else.
It's not that they're unhappy, it's just that they prefer
Silent Bob.
that way.
They seem perfectly happy, but probably something inherited from their previous lifestyle. They speak when spoken to. They're now, probably only now, getting used to speaking when they want to.
Okay.
But they do seem quite content in the fact that they are just a spectator in your group's activities.
Okay. Just wanted to check they were okay.
They are. It's been a couple of days then before you got the news from the waiter that the Inquisitors were looking exhausted, starting to look a little bit frayed around the edges. You are now a day away from your second stop. Is there anything in particular you would like to do before lunchtime tomorrow when you arrive?
Is this the one just before the?
Mm-hmm.
Just before
No.
Paris?
3 stops. You've been to 1. This is the second. The third is quite close to Paris. It's a couple of days away. There's a week between each stop, apart from the last one, and then it's just a couple of days away from Paris.
Okay, with the last one, when are we expecting to detach the carriages?
Between the last one and Paras, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like a day in. Okay.
And do we have time between this conversation and the next stop to do any messing with the Inquisitor stuff?
Absolutely.
There's a night.
So everyone would like to do their own thing. Dice, you're probably not going to be able to get involved if you want to make Quill a earpiece.
No, I said I was just going to do my normal human visit and then
And the earpiece, yeah.
work on the sending stone.
Cool.
Earpiece.
Okay.
Earpiece.
I think I'd like
Earpiece?
to
I don't
All
think
right,
there is.
fine.
couple.
Sending stone.
I'd like to go over what we have in terms of just do like stock take basically on like health potions and
Okay.
other things that we have, and money as well after the departure of
But
Sepsis.
we've got
so
like a
that we
million
know-
gold. It's
Don't
fine.
have a million gold.
So that I know that we're all set for Parasso if we need to make a supply run in the next stop.
Yes, Ace, and you do discover during your calculations that Sepsis took 983,000 gold with them. So the group has whatever's left out of a million gold, unfortunately. Oh, look, problem solved. Right, so... no. Oriana, you wanted to work on the spell.
Oh, Biggie's just corrected me in the chat. Apparently, we had a billion gold, so we still got like 900 million gold. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm gonna practice that spell.
Cool. Quill, what did you
Hello.
want? What did you want to do?
I want to get into the I want to try and time this for a moment in which the Inquisitors would hopefully all be out patrolling.
Mhm.
But I want to sneak into the carriage that the Inquisitors are occupying and take some shit.
Okay. And that's fine. Can you roll me a stealth check?
Yes. 19.
Okay. And can you also then roll me an investigation check, please?
Certainly can. Carriage sheet. Yes, investigation. That's only a 14.
Okay. Quill then first. You do discover, in a quiet moment with no one wandering past your carriage, that as you poke your head out, the Inquisitors, now that there's only 3 of them, seem to be doing patrols. You keep an eye. It takes about 10 minutes for an Inquisitor to come back into the carriage, and you duck out of the way and mostly close your door as they wander past. You wait a further 10 minutes, and again, they come back in from the other end and make their way down the carriage. You're estimating, in the amount of time it took after they left the first time, they're covering, or this one particular Inquisitor is covering the front 3 carriages, all the way up to the train and back. You can imagine that one of the Inquisitors then is towards the rear with the humans. One would be enough, they're all caged up, why would you need more? And one then to cover the dining carriages and the economy class. As you realise you have 10 minutes left, Simple enough. You speed up through the carriage, further on, until you get to the foremost first-class carriage and the Inquisitor's single cabin.
Mm-hmm.
The door is open.
Okay.
You enter. It is quiet. There are, or what appear to be, 3 bedrolls that have been turned into quite comfortable beds with various chairs and the Inquisitor's old bed. But there are 10 packs. And you can imagine that some of them will never be used again, as their owners are either dead or very far away.
Mm-hmm.
As you start routing through them...
Before I do that,
Mm-hmm.
I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Actually, I will say that I would have cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll cast Detect Magic then.
Okay. No problem. The entire room lights up. A small aura, visible to you, but not... It's not powerful magic. But as it kind of starts to coalesce into various points, you realise that there are quite a few very mundane, common magical items in this room. There is a kettle, and as you go over to it, or a teapot, a silver teapot, and as you go over to it, you realise that with a simple wave of a hand, it could be caused to boil itself, or stay heated for a period of time.
Take it.
Cool. There is a flask or a set of glasses that would appear to have a limited reproduction spell on them. So a glass of wine would last twice as long, for example, before finally being drained. But there are lots of little different timepieces, clocks, small kind of bedside timepieces that all keep perfect time. And even with no inner workings or mechanics, it's just the clock face. So they're quite thin and artistically done because they don't need any clockwork. Apart from that, the only other magic that you do see is coming from one of the packs.
Okay, I will approach that pack carefully. What kind of magic is it?
Evocation.
Evocation. Okay, so I guess I'm wizardly enough to know that traps would usually be abjuration, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will carefully open that pack and
Okay.
checking for anything unpleasant as I go.
Very well. As you reach in then, you do discover, after rooting through carefully folded clothing, all of quite fine make, you find quite a few Inquisitor's uniforms.
Take.
Cool. In all of the packs, I mean. So maybe
Yeah.
there's 6 or 8 pressed and clean Inquisitor's uniforms. You do, however, as you reach into this pack with the evocation magical aura coming from it, discover that a beholder has caused an issue and that page can no longer be found.
Oh man, God! If only D&D Beyond weren't so shitty. Eh?
When you said a beholder's caused an issue, I was like, we're all just sitting here.
You discover a beholder in the pack,
Jesus Christ, can you imagine?
and now Quill has to fight a beholder on his own.
You discover a wand.
A wand?
Mm-hmm.
I love wands. Take.
Cool.
And I will take my I'll take my scimitar out,
Mm-hmm.
and I will slash into. I presume there's very fancy wallpaper. In this room. I'll slash a big Z into the wallpaper. And then I will go out. I'll make my way out of the window and go along the roof of the train to get back, leaving the window open.
Okay. Roll me an acrobatics check.
Yeah, sure. 20.
20. Cool. You slash a, if you do say so yourself, very artistic Z perfectly in the. And you discover that it is actually kind of an etched leather wallpaper, beautifully kind of painted and etched into a floral pattern, but now hangs artistically from each slash of the Z. You open the window, you gracefully swing up onto the roof of the carriage and make your way back to your sleeping quarters.
Cool.
While all this is going on, Dice, roll me an Arcana check, please. Oh, no, sorry, a tinkering check.
It would be Arcana for anyone else, but it's a tinkering check,
It is.
which is my
Intelligence plus proficiency, which is doubled because of your tools.
tools.
Your tools.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
23?
Yeah.
Okay. You are a dab hand at this now. Remembering your earlier conversation with Oriana, you probably could knock these out quite quickly and like create the medieval fantasy world's first mobile phone network. But yeah, it doesn't take too long, being quite practiced as you are, and by the time it comes to you, or in that evening, by the time it would come to you normally going to see the slaves in the rear carriages, you do have a perfect simile of your own communication stones.
Okay. Is Quill in the carriage or is Quill off doing things at the moment?
By the time you finish, Quill has returned.
Okay. I go, here is your communication stone.
Thank you very much. Here is your teapot.
My teapot?
Yes, I found a teapot. I thought you might like it.
It's actually very...
Nice looking teapot.
It's magical.
It's a magical teapot.
Yes, it boils itself.
That's so cool! I love that!
Doesn't that make it a kettle?
What's a kettle?
What's a kettle?
It's a D&D kettle.
Kettle is the thing you put over the fire with the hot water in it.
Yeah, no.
Yes, but this you can make the tea in it. You don't it doesn't require you to put anything over the fire, you see.
So you don't need the kettle.
As you hand the
Correct.
teapot to Dice, you immediately notice in the beautiful silver scroll work on and around the teapot, you can see, because you've seen devices like this being created by the gnomes before, you can see the gnomish runes hidden in like the floral pattern and the etching on the teapot. You yourself have in your childhood and your studies done this previously. This kettle is of gnomish make, and reading the gnomish, you immediately discover the word to have the teapot heat itself and keep itself heated until you turn it off. It will continuously heat water.
Ori, it's like the ones I made when I was a girl. Look. It's like one from home.
Oh, yeah. Looks familiar.
And it is very simple. It is literally speaking the gnomish for on.
I go and stick a bunch of tea leaves in it and some water in the bottom and put it on the side and immediately turn it on and sit there like...
While that's going on, I would like to, as a ritual, cast Identify on the one that I found, please.
Okay. Before I then get to Ori and Ace, you quickly cast Identify as the tea is brewing. And by the time a lovely aroma has started to radiate around the cabin, your ritual finishes. You have discovered a wand of fireballs.
I just hold it out to Ariana.
What?
I
Why
feel-
are you pointing that at me?
No, handle first. I thought you might like it.
What is it?
It's a wand of fireballs.
Oh, yes, please.
I thought so.
It'll match my necklace.
it seemed to go with your, whole flavor.
Well, I was starting to worry because I've used 2 of these. So
Yes.
does it have like charges? Is it,
You know that
one use and gone?
it can hold up to 7 charges. The one you currently have in your, or you've just given Oriana, has 3 charges in it.
It has 3 charges currently.
However, once attuned, it will awaken the wand, and the wand then may start regaining expended charges at dawn.
Sweet.
Just to ask a question here, Quill. What do you want from Oriana for this?
Sorry?
What do you want from Oriana for this?
I want that if someone is about to sneak up behind me and she sees them, that they are engulfed in flame and burned alive.
So
I can do that.
Giving it to her. Look.
It's not yes, it's not. Why wouldn't I?
Nothing, just novel. That's all.
No, it's not a novel, it's a wand.
How's the tea?
I hand round teacups to everyone that I've procured from a cupboard. I assume it's first class, they've got to have teacups.
Yes, they have cups. Ori, if you refresh your character sheet, you now have a wand of fireballs.
Goodness gracious.
Great balls of...
Fire. I have to attune to it though, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
This is a very needy dog.
Ace. While you're all then there drinking tea, you take stock of the investigation and the stock take that you've that you've made in the past couple of hours. Roll me an investigation check.
Mm-hmm. Okay, give me a sec. Yeah, that's 16.
Okay. Doing your investigation then, you have worked out not really being able to take in Quill's personal fortune. But from what you can remember, between you and Dyson Oriana, you have around about 9,000 gold. Unfortunately, when it comes to magical items, you've got quite a few. You've still got quite a few. You have no idea what they do.
Yeah.
Because they have not been
check out.
Yeah, they still haven't been identified. Scrolls and potions, you have none.
Oh, okay. Were they with sepsis then? Oh.
Potions and things were.
Okay, I'll wait for everyone to come back to break that. No, everyone's here. Aren't they?
Yeah.
There we go.
The sepsis have the scrolls from the beholder. I didn't think.
Yeah.
No, sorry, hang on. Potions.
I thought
Sepsis
Dice
has
had all
them.
that. Yeah.
Dice has the scrolls. I apologize.
Okay, so just the
No, I
potions are
apologise.
missing, yeah?
Yeah,
And their portion of the money.
their portion of the money. But between you, without taking into account anything Quill has, because
Yeah.
new, you haven't really gone
We
over
haven't
it.
discussed his income.
Haven't discussed what how much money he brings.
We
to the
don't live in
table.
London. The first question we ask is not, what's your income, mate?
Yeah,
What's your job, what you do?
and also, who are you? But no, you you can confirm that you have about 10,000 gold and quite a few magical items that have not yet been identified.
Guys, I've gone over what we have, and we don't have any of our potions anymore.
I have
We had potions.
Yeah,
I have a pair of healing
we
potions
had some
that I can
healing.
contribute
Really?
Oh, thank
Oh.
you.
to the group.
I didn't even realise we carried healing potions.
You had a couple.
Yeah, we had
Seems
a few
wise.
from the beholder. We've got quite a few magical items though that I think maybe we should try and identify and maybe sell on.
Ooh, I can be of service.
Yeah.
I know that spell.
Okay. Great.
To help identify the enormous amount of crap in this bag.
There's an enormous amount of identifiable crap in the bag.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to pull out
I
everything.
am thrilled.
Yeah, identified from the beholder. I have the list somewhere. I'll find it in a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would not.
Because there's loads of stuff in there.
There's loads of other crap in there. I'm not even sure what's in there at this point, but there's lots of shit in there. Hang on, let me.
Pretty sure there's spare weapons in there at this point.
Phil, I'll give you a list. Everyone, carry on.
I can identify one thing every 11 minutes.
Okay.
And I will.
That's still very helpful to us. Thank you.
No, I can too. So if we sit and make our way through the rest of this, we could identify everything that's here, which would be great.
And then
Excellent.
maybe we can look what's helpful to us and then what we can sell on.
Did you say something about scrolls?
Yeah, there's scrolls in there too. Mm-hmm.
I like scrolls. They're sort of like books, and sometimes they have spells on them, and I like to read spells, and sometimes I can learn to cast the spells myself from the scrolls.
I just found the wrong bag of holding list, and it's got 5 sets of cultists' robes, 11 sheets of work leather, 10 vials of acid, 2 glue bombs, half an adult black dragon hide.
Yeah.
This feels like possibly from a different campaign.
It's the wrong bag. Right,
Yes,
yes,
that bag.
Yeah.
We used to keep cultists in that bag.
Yeah, we did.
We tortured someone
Livened
by
ones.
suffocating them in the
We
bag.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we filled it.
Yeah, why not?
Hi. Okay, so the first one is 14. Yeah. Then 23. And the third one. Oh, okay. I'll roll it again then. 21. 21. Sorry, bro, the chat can't hear you.
Yeah.
God, what kind of amateur hour bullshit is this?
Hang on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now they can.
Yay.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm really sorry. I don't know why, but the mic input changed to default, and apparently it's not reading my default as Yeti. I didn't touch it, didn't do anything with it, don't know why, but yeah, sorry. So,
Likely story.
Oriana.
Yes.
When couldn't they hear me from? This is the issue.
I think it's while I was doing my dice rolls.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you start to translate the dream spell that you found in the book from Quill into Infernal. As you do, as your wings start to tense, flutter slightly over your shoulders, you look around the room as you start to hear what you say echo back at you in whispers from dark corners. You see a tired Ace looking on at their friends as they looking on at their friends as they identify all of these magical items, and as they kind of nod, listening to the incantations of Quill and Dice, you see them start awake, not as if they've jerked themselves out of sleep, but they look around as if something has possibly touched them in that dream place, or that strange place between sleeping and waking. You start to see one who has nodded off in the background start to turn slightly fitfully in their sleep. You keep translating. Roll me a wild magic surge. Roll me a wild magic roll, sorry. Roll me a d20.
Magic roll.
Mm-hmm. A d20.
D20.
Yeah.
Do you want me to roll a surge?
Mm-hmm. To see if it goes off.
No, that's 3.
Ooh, okay. You feel that, given a little bit more practice and a target that you have seen, a target that is known to you, when they're asleep, you could probably do a little bit of damage.
Ooh.
You now have the ability to put dream or vicious dream in your spell list. Once I homebrew it properly, it will be in your spell list. However, it is a 4th level spell, not a 5th level. You incant while your target is sleeping, as long as they are known to you, and you are on this plane, you can incant and basically cause them vicious mockery, or cause vicious mockery to affect them in their dreams. You appear to them in whatever form you wish to take in their dream and insult them, or whatever you want to say to them, and it causes them to take vicious mockery damage. You can do this until they wake. However, the effects of the dream mean that they have to roll a wisdom saving throw every time they take damage to try and wake up.
Sweet.
So you basically can do this until they save.
The wisdom save is just to wake them up, not to stop them from taking damage.
No, they'll take damage anyway, but it is only
Right.
it is only the effect of vicious mockery.
Yeah. Sweet, thank you.
Okay. So, until then, Dice leaves to go and obviously give food and aid to the slaves in the rear carriages. Between you, you get through quite a few magical items. Quill, you set the scrolls aside for perusal at a later date, as you don't really need to identify them, you can just read them.
Yeah, I was going to say.
However, you have found... I'll send you the list, so it's fine. You have found an amulet of health.
I've sent the full list in the chat that we had previously, if this helps.
I know, but it doesn't help the stream, the people watching. You have found an amulet of health, an amulet of the drunkard, a bag of beans with 10 beans in it, a cap of water breathing, a charlatan's die, a chime of opening, cleansing stone, a dark shard amulet, deck of illusions, You had the drift globe. No, the drift globe. 4 elemental gems, eyes of minute seeing, eyes of the eagle, gloves of thievery, a Golthea staff, a hat of wizardry, a helm of comprehending languages, a helm of the gods, immovable rod. Well, no, you already took the immovable rod, so that's fine. Necklace of adaptation, a periapt of health, and a periapt of wound closure.
Quite a trove you have here.
Yeah, we killed a beholder.
That does explain it. I understand they tend to be into hoarding.
Yeah, he was.
Also, the dragons apparently.
Or with different special interests.
Yeah, true. Dragons are more gold and riches, aren't they, than magical items?
From what I hear, I can confess I've never met one. Have you?
A dead one?
Well, so we think
Well,
there
I think
is
it's dead.
not necessarily dead. I think suspended. There is a silver dragon underneath.
Greater restoration would probably fix it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Is it under Wolftal or?
Yeah. In the
Yeah,
mine.
It's in the mine.
In the mine. It's surrounded by kobolds who worship it. I think they think it might be a different color dragon to the one that we believe it is.
They seem to think that grey tar at the resting station
Would fix it.
would
Yeah.
fix it.
It was real cute. Sepsis tried to bury them alive, but we think they probably got out.
I understand.
However, if you come in across Dragonborn, don't tell them because they're looking for a dragon because they want to bring back some Tiamat person.
Do you know who that is?
And we don't think it would be a great idea.
Have I heard of Tiamat, Bray?
Roll me a religion check.
Just such a hilarious question. It's absurd.
Religion. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Yes, you have heard of Tiamat. You know exactly who Tiamat is. Tiamat is the fabled goddess queen of evil dragons in history.
Queen.
Trapped in the 9 levels of hell as they looked for more power and tried to take it over. Became a pet of one of the princes of hell. If all of the stories you have heard about Tiamat are good, they're right. Helping bring Tiamat back would probably not be something you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. I will relay as much about Tiamat as I know.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Oh, yeah, so we were right not to mention to them that there was a dragon in Portal.
Certainly sounds that way.
Yeah, we were really right. How
You-
unusual.
You know infinitely more about Tiamat than anyone else, who all failed their roles to work out who Tiamat was many, many episodes ago
Yeah, we did.
after playing a
Despite
year and a
having
half
done
long
a whole
campaign.
campaign.
Yeah, Joe Hardest pretend you don't know who Tiamat is when not a year ago you killed Tiamat.
Yeah. We knew lots about Tiamat last year.
I shanked that bitch.
So, you have all of these magical items. Is there anything you wanted to do with them?
Well, I don't know. I find these gloves very interesting.
What about the Hat of Wizardry? That sounds like it's up your alley. You know, being a wizard.
Yes.
You're
It's,
just a sorcerer in a hat, aren't you?
It is, as you look at it, quite a bit more like crumpled and battered and old than your hat is. But you can sense the magic radiating off it.
I'm just reading the description now.
Maybe it'll fit under your hat.
Then he'd be Johnny Two Hats, wouldn't he?
Quill 2 hats.
Yeah.
Be a cat in 2 hats.
It's a
Amazing.
very interesting hat. Personally, I find it a little garish.
Just like, Oriana just casually looks up at Quill's carrot hat and goes, yeah.
Garish.
I'm confused about your tone.
Nothing.
I assure you, this was the height of fashion in
I'm sure it is.
in Albion when I left, and obviously fashion does move fast. So if you have,
I couldn't
you
tell
have,
you. I can't wear hats.
oh, I'm sure you could.
I'm sure someone
No,
could
it's-
tailor you one.
It's the horns.
You could like get holes cut in it.
Again, they're not straight horns. They're curled. I'd have to like feed it around and then put it on.
Or have
bigger
two
holes.
pieces, like a
Yeah.
helm.
You could wear like a beanie, and it would be.
Or I could just not wear the hat.
You could put it over the horns.
I mean, you could not wear the hat. That's fine.
You
I
do
could just
know,
not wear the
Quill,
hat.
having identified it, that it wouldn't affect Oriana anyway, as it
No.
can only be attuned by a wizard.
It's it's a very interesting hat, and I think we should keep it in the bag in case someday the day comes where we need such a hat. But it's not going on my head, that's for damn
To
certain.
be fair, I found a lot of these items have been quite handy for bartering. So
Yeah, we've given a few things away. Nothing you would have been interested in, I think.
If you would like to, if you could see your way to lending me these gloves, I would.
you can have them.
Oh, how very generous of you.
I mean, you gave me a wand. Take the gloves.
Yes, but the wand wasn't mine.
Neither were the gloves.
Not,
We stole
not
them
There's-
from a beholder we killed.
It sounds like their previous owner wasn't going to show up to claim them.
I don't think the Inquisitor's going to
I don't
claim
think
this
he had
back.
any hands.
Did he
Interesting
put them on
point.
the
I
eye
wonder how-
stalks?
And yet, for some reason, it was ridiculous that you could put a hat over your horns.
The hat looks stupid. That's why I don't want the hat. Okay.
Yes, it does look very stupid.
We all hate the hats. Noted.
Anyway,
You now have
Just like looking at my
gloves
hat
of
of
thievery
disguise, like
Thank you, buddy.
in your character sheet.
we arrive at the next stop tomorrow, don't we?
yes.
Lunchtime the next day, yeah.
Lunchtime tomorrow. So shall we get some sleep?
I think that's a good idea. We can all talk. I'm just going to send a message to Sarah Hershbrough.
Okay.
And I'm just going to say, hi, I'm sorry we haven't spoken for a while. I hope you're okay. I did that as 2 words. Okay, it's 1 word.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Tell her you love her, you sappy bitch.
it's difficult
Say
to
hello from me.
in touch.
You never
Lovely
met her.
guys. Quill says hi. I had 3 words. I had 3 words left.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Sarah Hesh, by the way?
Sarah She's just gonna start
That's
the next
Dice's girlfriend.
quiz with who's Quill.
The daughter of the Drow Queen?
Yes. A princess.
She is a princess.
It takes a moment, but for the first time in a long time that you've messaged Sarah Hesh, she does not sound stressed, out of breath, exhausted. Guten Nacht, Liebchen. It is good to hear your voice again. Who is Krill?
You can't reply.
No, never.
I am safe, as are my people and the refugees. I will find a way to keep in contact with you. You are my heart.
I just sort of smile and go, "Daw," and go to
Hey,
bed.
Dice, before we go to bed, should we just have another cuppa?
And I don't even have to brew it. Look, it's done. It's just done.
There's a
I
chamomile.
had to Google because I couldn't remember what Lipshin meant, but that's very cute.
Liebchen.
Liebchen. It's just like lover or something, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's just like dear one,
Yeah, it's the sort of the German equivalent of Cariad.
pretty much.
And with your not freshly brewed, but tea that's probably been brewing for a couple of hours now. It's quite strong tea. You find it difficult at first to fall asleep. Because
It's chamomile. Chamomile.
all right, fine. Yeah, you knock yourselves out, and again, find yourself going into a dreamless sleep in readiness for the coming day. And with that, we're gonna see if the break screen works.
Oh, this will be an
Oh
adventure.
God, yeah.
Everyone
But
ready?
yes,
It's
we
preliminary.
we are going to go on a break. Thank you to those.
Hopefully we'll be back.
Yeah.
Theoretically, we're going on a break.
We will be back. Thank you to those who have stuck with us so far. Again, I apologise profusely for the technical issues at the beginning. However, even though we're still running on Heavyweight Gaming, this is our first time since we joined the channel that we're in control now. Basically, to give AD a bit more time off because he's incredibly busy and does so much for the TTRPG community that, yeah, he could probably do with a bit of time off from us as well, to be fair to him. And also, I'll hopefully be able to count myself in at the end of this break. If it works, I'll probably fuck it up and it would be better under AD anyway. But yes, please, if you haven't already, while you're on break, pop over to lokibattlemats.com or search for Blink Dog Dice on Etsy and check out their fantastic work. I know for a fact that Big E is very happy with the dice that he received. I believe it was earlier on this week, Monday, Tuesday you got them, you said, from the win from, I think, over a month ago. Sorry it took so long. However, right now, there are... I believe they're still in, because I haven't been looking at the chat. I don't know if he said anything. They're still in the sorting office in Canada, according to Royal Mail. But there are Shane's first dice win from the channel are actually in country and on their way to him now. If you haven't already, please go check out our Facebook and our Twitter. That's Twitter is at Dice Beholder. Oh, sorry, at Beholder Dice. Wrong way. And Facebook is just Dice the Beholder. We have a sweepstake going on at the moment. All you've got to do to be in with a chance of winning one of 3 big dice prizes is effectively click on some links, give us some follows, get some friends involved. You get more goes, the more of our social medias and our Twitches and everything that you actually end up following. Yes. But yeah, apart from that, we're going to go on break. We will be back in about 15 minutes.
Tea.
Please stick around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Please work. Hello! Welcome back to episode 63 of the Chronicles of Nidum, streamed by Sir Dice. Fuck! Hello, and welcome back to episode 63 of the Chronicles of Nidum, motherfucker. Hang on. Cheers.
You're going to start drinking every time you fuck up.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
Whiskey is 50% water.
Yeah, it's good. So, welcome back to episode 63 of the Chronicles. You did speak too soon, Biggie, you did. Yes, welcome. Where we left everyone then, you had just gone to sleep, having a rest in preparation for the next day when you would arrive at your mid-destination on the journey to Paras. When you wake, there is a knocking at the door, even this early. It is fast and repetitive, not like the waiter.
I just pulled the duvet over my head. And,
I turn into Sylvia and open the door.
At the door is a
In my nightgown.
At the door is a large, heavily muscled half-orc woman, familiar to you, as one of the disguises of Natasha.
Good morning. Come inside.
Good morning.
How have you been allowed to wander?
There are few things a smile and an imposing costume cannot get you, if you know what to say.
Yeah, I get it.
But let me slip into something more comfortable.
I refill Dice's little teapot and puts it on and turn it on again.
You
stick my
see,
head out from under and go.
you see her features begin to warp, and then standing before you is the red-haired elven woman that you know to be the true visage of Natasha.
And fair is fair. I turn back into Oriana.
I do prefer you this way.
The feeling's mutual.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I come with bad tidings.
Oh, good.
It would appear we have less stops left on this journey than we first thought.
So today's stop and how many more?
Paras.
Oh, so we stop today and then straight to Paras.
Yes. Word of what has been going on the train has made its way to the Inquisitorial headquarters in Paras. They have decided, as the last stop is quite close to the city anyway, that they will take whatever slaves remain to board overland. Those that we are picking up in this next stop will still be on the train, but then we will make full speed ahead towards the city.
So after today, we need to drop the humans somewhere.
Da.
Great. Acting sooner rather than later.
I can rearrange, but that is not, I suppose, the most unwelcome news I have heard over the grapevine, as you say.
No?
Yet, there is talk of specialist boarding train in our next stop. To bolster guard.
What kind of specialist?
I know not. There is very little known about the one who will board the train, but it is said that they act alone. They have taken out entire armies alone.
So we need to try and do this under their nose without confronting them.
Unfortunately, They will not board train with pomp and circumstance. They will board train
And keep a low profile.
under radar, and yes, low profile.
So we don't even know, it's going to be difficult to know who they are.
Da.
So we try and do this as sneaky as possible, or we do something to try and draw them out.
I would perhaps do it as sneaky as possible, but again, I do not know what skills they have. So I put it to you. What do you think?
I mean, saving the humans is always going to be a priority. But if there's a risk that this person could stop us, and that could be a worse fate for the humans than what they're going into anyway.
Am I right in believing that your original plan was to simply detach the rear carriages from the train?
But we have no idea what this person is capable of.
You said this
Yes.
person has taken out armies. According to who?
Father.
So does Father know what their abilities are? Not our Father, Quinn, you understand, just Father.
He
Well,
Telling you. Quill.
I know, Quill.
he says only that they are like ghost, phantom.
and we don't know their race.
I would assume
Obviously not human.
elven, but
There's taking out armies, and then there's taking out armies. You know, I presume that when we say taken out armies, we're not talking about someone who's, stood one person against thousands and fought hand to hand. I presume we're talking about subterfuge of some sort.
there is talk of armed camp, 300 strong, all strapping young human males. They went to sleep one night. None of them saw the light of the next day.
Normal humans, not humans with magic. I could kill 100 normal humans. You could kill 100 normal humans.
Well, anyone could if they slipped something into the cook pots.
That's what I mean. Taking out an army is one thing. Taking out an army who is armed and fighting you is a very different kettle of fish. Ooh, kettle, and I'll make tea. I think it's very easy for people to develop a feared reputation. We have one. We are the people who tried to murder the crown prince and set fire to the.
And it's all rumours, but it's not entirely. It's the truth twisted, embellished. For all we know, their reputation is exactly what it is.
It could be. So there's two options. We either try to take out this person, or we detach the humans now before we arrive where we're going. And you take them, Natasha. We
We're
still have the ones that we would collect.
just a few hours out from the stop. It wouldn't take them long to rally a group to go back and look for them.
It would give them 2 hours to get away before it was even noticed. If we were quick.
From next stop to Paras, there are still 7 days.
But that makes no sense. But if there's someone on here who could easily murder us all, then that's not so simple.
I think maybe the best bet is to see who this person is, see if we can find them and gauge it from there. It's too risky to let the humans go now.
It will... Well, I suppose if worst comes to worst, we can attempt to lock them in their carriage and run away. I'm joking, obviously. But we can come up with something. Right?
Have you worked out plan?
Well, we have a plan. The plan is to have you in the carriages with the humans. I can disconnect them at any point, and we will take out the goblins who are steering the... Is it goblins? Goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goblin steering the train.
Who are steering the train. and we will just detach the carriages. But we're hoping to make them sleep. We believe now we can just make them sleep, and they will hopefully assume it was a mistake.
So you're thinking of detaching the humans now?
Well, we could, and we could at least
I
save
s-
those.
It's how that gets explained when we reach our next stop.
It would certainly be difficult. We would likely have to leave the train.
Which we can't because we have a deadline to get to Paris.
Why?
Bounty hunter.
We would still be going to Paris, though. You can message him and say we'll be a little late. We're having to travel on foot.
Bounty hunters being famously accommodating and understanding.
Yeah.
All right, he's not exceptionally. That's true. I mean, I'm happy to continue with the plan as it is. And we just find out who this person is and work out if we can take them out.
Or maybe barter with them. I've done it before.
Possible. I always assume that we're going to have to kill them, but I'd rather not.
Flirt first, kill later.
Well, that sometimes works. It's well, not for me, but for you.
It's working with the bounty hunter so far. Although there was more conversation first.
It definitely does not work for me.
And when will you release carriages?
Well, when you tell us to was the original plan.
When you're ready to.
I will send message and have the carriages met perhaps further away from Paris than original plan.
Is it possible that this person... I'm just trying to think about how I would go about this, imagining that I have unlimited resources and some unspecified spectacular set of skills. What I would possibly do is enter the train in disguise as one of the humans being brought on board. If we simply released the carriages, and then it turned out that this force of nature is in those carriages, leaving Natasha and the humans alone to deal with them, sounds like a death sentence.
You're right. That's definitely something we will need to consider. We have to find this person. That's our first challenge, right? We all agree on that.
Yeah.
Agreed?
So, we'll continue as normal, act like nothing's wrong, wait till the person boards. I might see if I can find a rooftop somewhere where I can watch the people getting onto the train and see if I can work out who they are.
Yes, perhaps we all should do that.
I'll make my way through the train talking to people.
I can.
Sylvia's known for being quite social, so.
She is. That's true.
I can. I have a spell that allows me to detect the aura of magical effects. So if someone's magically disguised, I can root that out possibly.
Let me see. I might have that ability myself, but I suddenly can't remember.
I'll be the chaperone as Gito if you'd like.
That could work.
Yeah. It's definitely a spanner in the works, but it is not the end of the world, I think.
What time is it now?
As you ask this question of yourself and look at your watch, the door is knocked, and you realise that it is now about 7:30, which is the pre-arranged time for breakfast to be brought. The waiter allows themselves, enters, deposits the food as they normally do every morning, takes away the late night plates from the previous evening, and he's started to learn his lesson, disembarks without waiting for a tip.
Okay.
That's him. Right. Well, I think lunchtime the train is due into the next stop.
Well, I have the ability to detect magic, but if you could have that up, Quill, I have the ability to see invisibility. So we could go at it from two directions. You can see what can be seen and what spells they're using. And
Can the two of you get on top of the train and do that and not be seen? I mean, there's a lot of doors people can get on and off this train.
I was actually thinking of heading for a rooftop nearby and looking down onto the train.
Sadly,
okay.
I can only detect magical auras within 30 feet of me.
It is within 30 feet. We'd have to stand near the door. I can do that invisibly. I think was there multiple doors people got on from? There weren't there?
Mm-hmm.
It's a train. Well, you two do it magically. I'll do it just talking and seeing what people come up with.
Perhaps it would be better to wait until everyone's on the train and
then sort through everyone.
Yeah.
Do it afterwards, because I can move along the whole train.
There'll be more inquisitors on board then, so we'll be allowed out of our rooms. So going to the bar.
The train isn't 30 feet tall, so if I walked along the roof, I'd detect any magical auras. I would have thought.
Remember that they're going to be looking for us as well.
Everyone always look. Well, not Quill. Quill is actually safe at the moment.
Well, they're going to be looking for whoever's been causing a disturbance.
But both Quill and I can easily be on the roof of the train, where we're less likely to be spotted.
Okay, well.
If we go in different directions, we could cover it in half the time as well.
Well, we have until this afternoon. And got any plans for the morning?
No.
Sweet.
How long are we at the stop for?
This one normally a few hours.
So people won't be getting on immediately as we arrive?
Yeah, well,
Most.
it takes a few hours for them to corral the slaves and attach carriages.
Okay. I was thinking we may not be able to cover all the doors onto the train, but we could cover the entrance to the station. That's not such a wide space, theoretically.
Sure.
If you think that's going to work, go for it, but I think it's best to wait until the train is pulled out.
I don't know about
There's no leaving.
I don't know about your spell for detecting invisible people, but detecting magic only lasts for 10 minutes.
Invisibility, detect invisibility is...
I'm just thinking that once the train is pulled out, we know for sure that they're on the train, at least. That narrows it down.
Well, at the very least, it lasts for an hour. So I can at least stick my head out the window and look as people are getting on the train, see what I can see, because there's no range on that, because it's what I can see. So I can try and see anyone invisible getting on the train.
Okay.
In the meantime, and it's not concentration, so I could make myself invisible, sit on the roof of the train, and use see invisibility to look down the side as people are getting on, because once they're in their rooms, that spell is useless.
But if they can also see invisible people, then
I'll just do it at the
you'll
window.
be a little obvious.
I'll just do it at the window as a visible person. It'll be fine. But it's worth a shot, and then we can use detect magic once they're on the train to narrow it down. If I haven't seen it. Right?
Cover all our bases.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I will go and contact Father and see about rearranging the drop-off point.
Be sooner, but after this stop.
There.
Let's see what we can do.
Good luck.
Yeah,
You too.
And she walks out of the cabin.
I'm starting to think that maybe we should just stop planning things too far ahead, because it just changes.
Well,
There's nothing wrong with planning.
Just maybe
Just
just do a
means that we
day
can
ahead.
Just adjust as we go.
Looking like a true sorcerer.
perhaps the plan would not have needed to change if we'd not been so eager with taking out the Inquisition.
That's true.
We have brought this upon ourselves a little here.
Yeah, all right.
Mug DM face. Oh no.
They shouldn't attack my succubus girlfriend, I'm just saying.
There are...
No, I'm not being a smug DM. Yeah, you are.
No, there are... There
smug
are...
face. I saw it. I can see your face.
There
Very
are
smug.
consequences
Can't hide
to
smugness.
the stuff you do. Good
Yeah,
and
yeah.
bad.
Like the consequences, you do something and then you feel very smug about it.
No.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So, the closer it gets to lunch, the slower you can feel the train become. It does again as it almost crawls to a stop. You can see out the windows the farms giving way to suburbs, giving way to a much larger town this time than Jardem. You eventually feel the shuddering vibration of the floorboards beneath your feet as the crystals struggle to maintain stability. But eventually, a shadow falls over the entire train as you pull into the tall station that rises up on both sides of the train. There are many faces staring in at you from the windows outside as it pulls to a stop, of all different races. You can see there that there are luggage handlers, the passengers waiting to get on, some waiting for those who are getting off. And the platform is much fuller with guards than Jardem's platform was. As you start to hear the commotion outside your cabin then, what do you want to do?
I'm going to station myself in full automaton form next to the window so I can see as much as possible and scan up and down the platform as though I'm looking protectively, you know?
Okay.
You've seen automaton guards, there's no reason why not.
Cool.
And I'm going to cast See Invisibility on myself. It lasts for an hour.
Cool. For the benefits of chat, please describe the See Invisibility spell for me.
It's probably the most self-explanatory spell I've ever heard of. For the duration, you see invisible creatures and objects as if they were visible. You can see into the ethereal plane. Ethereal creatures and objects appear ghostly and translucent.
Please describe the effect of the fireball spell for the benefit of chat. Yes, it's a ball of fire.
How big is it? What's the radius? What's the saving throw? What's the
There's no saving throw.
Oh, for fireball.
Oh, for See Invisibility, you dickhead.
Oh, right. So all the information you'd find in the description that would benefit chat to someone who hadn't read the spell in the
Oh my god!
Play the game.
Doesn't benefit chat. You're asking so you don't have to look up what See Invisibility does. You can't fool us.
Oriana's gonna wait until the train pulls out, so.
Okay.
Story's good for a bit.
Okay. And what's the duration on See Invisibility? An hour, yeah?
An hour, and if people are still boarding at that point, I'll recast.
Cool. Okay.
I'm going to keep it up until people are boarded, up to 4 hours.
Okay.
If you keep it up for 4 hours, you need to see a doctor.
Yeah, I know.
And okay. As you stare out at the faces before you, then there is very little empty space that shouldn't be there between the gaps in people. For the most part, you cannot see any invisible creature, any ethereal creature, nothing.
As I'm looking quite intently at all the people who are getting on, I would also like to keep my eye out for anyone who looks...
Main character-ish.
No, anyone who looks unusual or like they don't fit with the general flow of people into the train. Someone travelling alone, someone who looks...
Standout
Coloured
NPC.
hair. Are they main character Chan? Do they have goggles?
Yeah, anyone who has a burn scar over this eye.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Or that eye.
You know, something that makes them stand out from the crowd.
Okay.
Anyone who looks
Better
like
line work.
an MCU character.
I just meant anyone who looks apart from the crowd, like they're not travelling with people or...
You
they've
see
got,
one
like,
man
a-
standing there, his face
Is there
half
anyone
in
who looks
shadow,
like
even
Elizabeth?
though he's standing in the open with no shadows around him. The wind
Yeah.
tossing his hair, even though there's no wind in this building.
Yeah.
Is there anyone who looks like Elizabeth Olsen?
Roll me a perception check, then.
Yay.
Or Elizabeth Olsen.
Gonna find my perception. There we go. Okay. Oh, it's good. It's 19.
19? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you in a bit. Quill, what were you doing?
Oh, I'm not doing anything.
Not doing anything at the moment?
No,
Ace?
Detect Magic has a 30-foot range. There's no point.
Okay. Ace? Anything?
I was just accompanying Oriana at the moment.
Once the
as,
train is pulled out. Okay.
Yeah, as Gito.
Cool.
Yeah, once the train is pulled out, I'm going to turn into Sylvia and take Ghetto to the bar.
Okay.
We can't get crunk.
After the first
When I
hour,
start
then.
drinking, my dick does all my thinking.
After the first hour, then, Dice.
Yeah.
The invisibility spell wears off.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in front of you becomes completely normal, no ethereal hue. And unfortunately, after that first hour, you have seen nothing.
No, that's okay.
Well,
I'll
you've seen no strange characters. What you have perceived, almost half of the people on the train got off.
Okay.
There was a lot of luggage to be taken. Their rooms, or their number, was not equal in the people that came on. Again, almost half of the number of people who got off got back onto the train.
So
In
someone
those,
ending it as a destination.
in those people, very few of them got on in first class. Most of them got off in the rear carriages. And you do notice, though, 10 more Inquisitors have boarded the train.
Whoa.
One of them does not look like any of the other Inquisitors you've seen so far.
One of these things is not like the others.
One of these things doesn't belong.
There is something familiar about the way they dress, and it is with your perception check when they stand or kind of reach up with one leg to get onto the higher train step and lever themselves into the carriage that you notice the bladeless hilt hanging from their waist.
They're a knight?
They are a knight. They are not a member of the Inquisition.
Is it a knight I recognise?
You've never seen their face before. It is an elven woman.
Would it be one who worked with Obi-Kin?
Ankin.
Benkin! We all call them Obi-Kin because of Ankin in there.
You can't remember having seen their face in the Knights Temple in Londinium, but there is only, from your conversations with Benkin, one order of knights that carries swords like that. As you can imagine, they may have crossed paths.
Noted. I will explain this to everyone else, by the way.
Okay. You feel the train in all this time judder, move, shift, as if being struck from the back of the entire train. And you can imagine that this is the carriages connecting on. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it is noticeable, as if there's like a shock wave that runs up the entire train. You feel 4 impacts, as if 4 carriages have been attached to the end.
Okay.
And then after about 3 hours, there is a whistle, a high-pitched whistle that seems to carry the entire length of the train, but from outside. And you can almost feel the vibration of the crystals as they energize, having been given more energy, which is the other reason for these stops along the way.
So I kept my eye out for those entire 3 hours and I didn't see anyone invisible. That's fine. I wonder if it's the night.
While we're stopped, I suppose
that's
I'd
too
probably be
obvious.
going through the spell scrolls, if that's okay. I also want to say to the group, would it be possible for me to wear this for a time? It's the amulet of health.
Yeah, go for it.
I can. Bri, actually, I need an answer from you for this, because I know in a lot of games you can only wear the one like neck slot item. I already have a periapt of health. Can I wear both, or do I have to take one of them off to wear the other one?
Wait a minute.
Periapt of health and amulet of health do very different things.
It always seemed like a kind of nuts thing anyway. You have a neck, you can wear things.
Yeah, people can wear 85 necklaces. I'm just wondering if maybe there's something to do with wearing magical things.
In my
that
teens,
they
I'm pretty
interfere.
sure I did wear 85 cases.
Yeah.
Bracelets up to here.
Okay.
There were about 3 different sets of dog tags for different fictional characters at one point.
I've got no issue with you wearing 2 items of jewelry around the same body part, as long as they fit, which they would.
Yeah, no reason they wouldn't. They're not like.
Because the thing is,
chunky shoulders.
with this they take up attunement slots. It's like, you know.
Well, some of them do.
Yeah. But you know, in some RPGs, they only allow you to wear 2 rings, even though you've got 8 fingers, which is insane.
2 thumbs.
Exactly. Sorry, 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. I'm wearing 2 rings on my thumb. So yeah, it's a stupid rule. I don't even know if it's in D&D, but if it is, it's not in my game. So yeah, you can wear 2 necklaces.
Excellent. I will put on the Amulet of Health in that case.
I pity the fool who argues with Quill about his wearing of 2 necklaces. I pity the fool.
It's general
rule of thumb, Quill. If none of us are wearing it or using it and it's in the bag and you want it, take it.
This is going to make it much easier for me to maintain concentration on spells.
Good for you. Has the train pulled out yet?
It has. As Dice then returns
Sweet.
to the room, the train does power up and begin to leave.
Sweet. I turn into Sylvia and I'm heading to the bar. You coming? Gitto?
Yeah.
Gitto's an orc, isn't he? Half orc.
Yeah. I'm gonna slip on the hat and head out with.
I link arms with you and we head to the bar.
Okay. Dice, staying in the room?
Yeah, for now.
And Quill?
I'm staying in the room. I'm going through the scrolls.
Okay. Give me a moment, because I have...
Last time I went to the bar with Ace, I ended up going back to the room with a succubus.
Yeah, you had a good time though.
I have a...
He's finally it.
No, you.
God damn it.
Jinxed
God damn it. You're a little shit.
If you acknowledge the boy, he will come.
You acknowledged him without even really acknowledging him. It was great.
Yeah. We were doing whispers. He was like, "What are you
So
whispering about?"
needy.
Can I join in with this?
Have you accidentally raised the second summer?
Oh, worse.
Yeah,
He's so much worse than Summer.
I don't think he's worse than Summer. I think he's about the same.
Yesterday, when I told Summer, that's enough, go away now, she walked away.
That's because we were outside. She walked away to go and get a ball and bring it to someone else.
I tell Waffle to go away, and he just looks at me like, no.
No.
Do not know of this command.
Away.exe not recognised.
You okay there, Bri?
Yeah, give me a second. There we go. Okay.
He's got a million screens to deal with.
That's true.
One of them is in portrait mode.
You discover, Quill.
He's trying to bring up the battle map.
No. You discover that you have a large sheaf of spell scrolls. Most of them unrolled and tied together, almost like a book. They range anywhere from cantrips to, I think the highest one you find is a 6th level spell.
Hasty.
There are... Give me a second. There are 15 in total.
Nice.
Okay. So, do you want to know what they are?
Yeah. Do you want to send me a list instead of enumerating them on, or do you want to do the list on stream?
Yeah, I'll tell the stream. It's fine.
Cool.
Okay, so you've got Blade Ward, Chill Touch, Great Bonfire, sorry, and Friends. Okay.
I'll be there for that one.
Okay. No. Okay. You also have Bane.
That's a good one.
No one cared who I was before I put on the mask.
and cure wounds.
Nice.
You also have expeditious retreat.
There's also a revivify in there and still one greater restoration.
Whoosh.
But I've got those.
No, you've got those. That's
Yes.
fine. Okay, you've got. Give me a second. You have Cloud of Daggers.
It's a good sounding spell.
You've also then got. What's the next one? There we go. Pass Without Trace.
I like the sound of that one.
Mm.
That would be useful for you. I should learn that.
You have a gaseous form.
Ooh.
Okay. And there we go. These are the third level ones, sorry. You've also got, when this list updates, there we are. For fuck's sake. Cool. You have Arcane Eye.
Mm-hmm.
You have Fabricate.
Mm.
Are you counting? How many am I on?
I'm not counting. I thought you just had a list that you were
Crap.
going through. Are you just generating random spells?
Yes.
Are you just generating random spells?
No, I'm literally going through the list, but I'm making sure that they're accessible to me, and I've actually got the.
I don't have. I
source
wasn't counting. I'm
that's fine.
absolutely not counting.
That's fine. There we go. Okay, you've got Arcane Hand.
Okay.
Mass Cure Wounds.
That's handy.
You also have Raise Dead.
Oof.
Eye Bite.
I don't like the sound.
I don't think I ever used that. I think Keeslin had that. Used it once. It didn't work well.
I mean, my cat licked my eye earlier. That was enough trauma.
And Wall of Ice.
No.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's enough. So I'll send you the list afterwards. Cool. So those are all the spells you have?
Thank you. I'm gonna have to look into
Whether they're
probably.
on the wizard spell list.
Sorry. Well, I'm gonna have to look into whether, what I have, or whether I can obtain stuff to copy them into a spell book.
Okay.
So I need materials to do that, don't I?
Mm-hmm. Good thing you're going to a city, which is the center
Oh,
of
yeah.
all commerce for the entire empire.
Yeah, certainly I'll be able to find stuff in Paras, but yeah.
While you're perusing your scrolls, then, Oriana, Ace, you make your way to the dining carriage. It is full, it being it's full of people mainly drinking instead of eating. There's a lot of new faces. The Durgar, having not got off the train, is still there. Same table, same tankard in front of him, same gormless expression on his face. The Dragonborn have shifted from their usual corner to a more central table. There are quite a few more elves now on the train, some of them even with human servants attending them, standing silently next to their tables, eyes down. What would you like to do in the bar?
Head to the bar and order a drink.
Okay. The waiter, having seen you many times before and being present during one of the most terrifying nights of his life, when you were there when the Inquisitor arrived, recognizes you immediately and proceeds to very quickly pour you a drink, just in case you wanted to hang around and bring any more terrifying people into his bar.
Worse.
Pours you both drinks and steps away, just in case something else bad happens.
Honestly. I'm gonna look around and see if anything sticks out.
Yeah, scope them out.
As you do, a raven-haired, buxom, beautiful, incredibly well-dressed elven woman stalks towards you.
Oh god.
Another of Natasha's disguises that you've seen previously.
Were you facing this one off Luster, or?
Now that Lester is no longer on the train, I thought I would give it a shot. Do you not like it? I can change back if you wish.
I mean, I'm always going to prefer your own look, but it's nice.
Different looks get different looks. It's
I
interesting
know.
to me. I like to people watch. I have
Anything stand out to you?
Niet, but I have spoken with our mutual friend, and in 2 days' time, we'll have some good news for a lot of people, I think. 2 days.
2 days. Oh, that's wonderful.
It is the most they can do at such short notice.
That's perfect. That's wonderful news. 2 days, and then perhaps.
I'm going to, and talks almost theatrically loud, find myself a bit of rough further back in the train. I might be some time, perhaps 2 days or so.
I do not blame you. It's been such a long journey so far.
Yes, it has. Find me if you need me.
I'm
And
sure I'll know where to find you.
She walks off, back towards the slave carriages.
I want to keep an eye out for that knight.
Okay. Doesn't take long then. Maybe half an hour of mingling. There are a few drinks bought for you. None for Gitto, but there are a few drinks bought for you.
Rude.
I give some of them to Ghetto.
Sent away. And you can see the ones that you raise. You can see eyes then from many elves, the half-orcs, from up and down the carriage, kind of raising their glass to you. And then Gitto looks around and kind of scowls at the people, and you can see the ones about to raise their glass
No,
kind of go. No.
I'm gonna wink at them.
You're gonna wink at them. But yeah, they don't really maintain eye contact, apart from one large half-orc woman who's like very exaggeratedly is like yeah, winks back, and you feel that this drink may have actually been bought for Ghetto and not Rihanna. But after about half an hour, the doors at the front end of the carriage open, and in stalks 4 inquisitors, following them the knight. And even though it is, it's a tight squeeze between all the tables, you see people start to immediately kind of shuffle their chairs out of the way, making it easier to pass down the centre of the carriage. They walk up to the bar. The knight orders a glass of wine. The inquisitors politely refuse as the knight turns around and kind of cockily asks them if they want a drink. Looks to the right, checks out you, Ghetto. Smiles amiably. Doesn't spend too long lingering over you. And goes back to having a quiet conversation with the rest of the inquisitors.
I'm going to turn to Ghetto and just talk slightly louder,
Mm-hmm.
just so they hear going, now, I wonder what's happened, but they feel the need to put a knight on the train.
It's certainly an up in security.
Well, we'll be much safer. You remember our time with Benkin, so...
I do.
You hear a voice from behind you then. Pardonnez-moi, madame, et Orc. You have a good eye. There are very few who would have noticed that I was in the knighthood. I have not come dressed in uniform, as you can see.
Your weapon.
The hilt gives it away.
Oui. But you did not think that I had stolen it?
Who would be able to?
Knights have fallen. They are not immortal.
No, but I'd like to think that no one was stupid enough to try.
I have met many who are stupid enough to try. They unfortunately did not meet any after the fact. You mentioned an acquaintance. You have met Benkin?
Briefly, yes. Back in Londinium. Some time ago now.
Were you close? I know he had an eye for the ladies. Or at least that was the rumor.
Perhaps, but not for me. He helped with a small business.
Well, depending on how close your relationship was, I am very sorry to give you the information that unfortunately Benkin has passed.
Oh, how unfortunate. He was a wonderful soul. He had a apprentice, Anne Kane.
And Kane, a master now.
Oh, well done.
Having avenged his own master's death, he has been granted the rank of master, and has.
He avenged him.
Oui. Benkin died in the fall of the great fall of Felder, the Drow city in the Underdark. It was a hard-fought campaign, and unfortunately, Benkin fell in the aftermath, and Kane avenged them by capturing the queen of the Drow and having her transported to Paris.
Yes, we heard she was being held there.
Oui, she's being held in wait of trial and will be executed forthwith.
And I imagine Anne Kane will be there for that, wouldn't you know?
He is currently escorting the young prince on his tour of the front lines, but I suppose he will be home in time to watch the entertainment.
I would just... If I were in his shoes, I'd want to make sure that the execution went ahead.
Well,
The closure of it.
There will be a great deal of inquisitors and knights present for the trial and present for the execution.
It's just that they seemed so close.
There are some who say they were too close, but those are only silly rumors. They are not founded. I always found Benkin to be rigid with the rules, and Kane was a little more reckless, but they were both fine knights, and
Opposites sometimes work better together.
Oui.
A balance.
Two sides of the same gold coin.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Sylvia.
Sylvia, that is not our Shalem name. Where are you from?
No, from Albion.
From Albion. You have traveled far to come to the capital of the empire for. I assume you are coming for the celebration.
Yes. Been hearing about it so much from different traders and travelers, I had to see it myself.
Then I hope that you find joy and happiness in Paris. I know many of my friends, my family, they live there. They are very happy. I hope that you enjoy our fine city.
Thank you. And what was your name?
Pardon. My name is Aurora.
Aurora. Now that is a
Very
beautiful name.
There are lights in the north. My mother, she named me after them.
Aurora Borealis.
Oui.
Hmm.
Borealis is my brother.
That's very clever parents.
My mother, while easily inspired, is not very creative. So when he was born second, she could not think of anything else.
I'm named after the silver. Equally as uncreative.
Sorry, I have taken up too much of your time and attention. I did not catch the name of your friend here.
Gito.
Oh, yes.
Gito, you are from Albion also?
Yes.
Oui. Then you have never traveled the Empire before?
No.
No.
We've been fairly homebodies.
It is a good thing that you have left Albion when you did. The entire country is starting to go down the toilet.
Yes, we've had some reports from friends and family back home that everything seems to be going a bit haywire.
It is the humans. They think they are so far above their station. Eventually, we will probably, after the war is won in the east, we will return and once again show them their place.
Of course.
It is, of course, for their protection.
Yes,
And
yes.
she smiles as she says that last word, and obviously
Yes.
does not believe the words coming out of her mouth.
They obviously don't understand, and it might not even need an invasion. They may just suddenly realize one day what a silly mistake they've made.
Though I think that estimation graces them with many more faculties than they actually have. But I must complete my patrol of the train.
Yes. I hope with you on board we have much less trouble.
Oui, yes. Though I, unlike the friends of my acquaintances here, will not run headlong towards an Empyrean. If one appears outside the train at night, I think I will be running in the other direction.
I don't blame you. I caught a glimpse of that thing.
I am first and foremost not stupid. All of his inquisitor friends, her inquisitor friends, are now scowling at the back of the knight, and the knight could not care less.
I like it.
I don't blame you. It takes. Well, I think it goes into the realms of stupidity rather than bravery to try and take something like that on head on.
May my estimations, though I am very intuitive, you have something of great bravery about yourself?
I have some skills, yes.
It is not a small thing for a beautiful woman to travel across an entire empire effectively alone. I say this not because you are a woman. I know for a fact as a woman that I am stronger than most of my male peers, but I also find that beauty attracts much more unwanted attention than ugliness.
She
And you
has,
are very beautiful.
She has a good support.
I have Ghetto, and I have. Oh, how was it once described to me? I'm closer to my original lineage than I seem.
So there is something of the arcane about you.
You could say that.
I will keep my distance.
I think you're safe. Your friends? Well.
I have been burned before, but my friends can possibly make a few more mistakes before they learn their lesson. Preshi is not the one that teaches you. But I must continue my patrol.
Yes, of course.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
It was a pleasure. And she walks off, draining her drink.
So Ace is going to take a real deep sip
Okay.
after some of those comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
To drain my glass. I am sorry about that. The disturbing thing is I find making those comments easier and easier. And
It's understandable with the company we're having to keep.
I suppose. Doesn't make it okay. Oh, and I'm getting avenged, Benkin. Yeah.
That was.
I've got to meditate on that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
He's not going to have some kind words from me when we see him again.
He's not having any words from me.
Maybe just some incantations.
Some of the things I can do don't even need that. Anyway, I don't see anyone else here. I think she might be what was being brought to the train.
It certainly sounds like. I don't think a lot of the Inquisitors are very happy with her arrival.
No. I don't think they like having someone who outranks them.
Nope.
That's fun information. She seems nice.
I mean, other than the human hating.
Well, I mean, that's her upbringing. We can't immediately judge somebody on that. Look at the Duchess.
I just find it a little bit difficult to forgive.
I know. They're taught, and they truly believe what they've been taught. It's up to them if they're willing to
They can learn
relearn.
better.
It's whether they'll put in the effort to relearn or not. Anyway, I've got much cheaper alcohol back in our room.
If you think we've got everything we need, we can head back.
Well, other than if he's still on, I point to the Durgar that's just up there staring. If he's still on the train after the carriages go, I'm gonna have to have a word with him because there is something going on there. We start walking back to our carriage. He's been there since we got on this train. Ace.
I think maybe he just doesn't know of any other entertainment.
I think he's dead. I think that's the same cup since he got on the train, and just nobody knows what to do. Or is he stuffed? Have they got a taxidermy Durgar on the train?
Are we close enough for me to sense if he's alive?
I mean, unless he's like a celestial, a demon, or undead, you're not going to get much of a sense from him. You could just approach him.
Okay.
We'll do that. We'll do that another time. If he's still there later, we're going to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm concerned now.
Okay.
I'm going to head back to the room.
Cool. Quill. Now the train is moving.
Yes.
It's heading into the evening. What do you want to do?
Well, I take it that Ari's come back and reported on this conversation. So do we think that this knight is the army destroyer?
Possibly.
What are these knights capable of?
A
Do
lot.
I know anything about them, Bri, from growing up in the Empire?
From growing up as a member of the Empire, in close with like the aristocracy as your family was, then you know all about the knighthood. You know they are fearsome warriors, the highest among them. Some apprentices, if they are skilled enough, but normally the highest among them wield very rare weapons, sunblades. that burn with the heat of the sun, destroy undead. It's why it's fabled that it's one of the main reasons that there are no, or very few vampires living in the Empire, because they fear the knights and what they can do. There are many stories about great feats of invisible magic, being able to read people's thoughts and thoughts and hearts. Some are great healers. First and foremost, though, they are a warrior caste. They are incredible warriors. Some, it has been said, and you know this, are worth an army in battle.
So I'll relay that to everyone.
Could be. I mean, we've seen 2 of them in action.
We have, well, 3 technically. One of was it who was the fish lady?
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. No, not
Well,
Ahsoka.
she wasn't actually Ahsoka, but she's
Asha.
based off Ahsoka.
Asha. Technically 3, although I know she didn't complete training.
She completely didn't compete. Oh, well, by the way, apparently Anne Kane has avenged Benkin.
Avenged, killed. Those are
Avenged him during the Oh, I'm gonna wring his neck.
I wonder if we convinced Benkin otherwise to change his mind. I'm not saying it's a good idea with her necessarily, because it would put us in a vulnerable position.
She does seem nice. The Inquisitors have some dislike for her. They are very put out with her being on the train.
Ah,
And
bless
she did make some sort of backhanded comments to them and their abilities.
I'm just wondering, you're good with words, you're good at speaking to people.
I can try.
Perhaps if she has a way of seeing the truth, we could show that Benkin was in love with the Drow Queen. Sorry, Quill, this is all going to go over your head, and I do apologize. This is history, but
Little.
Benkin was in love with the Drow Queen and went out to try and reason with Ankin. If we could, you were there, you saw him die. If you could see into your mind, if they have mind-reading powers, she could see.
There might even be a way for me to just share it with her. She's aware that Anne King didn't exactly follow the rules.
There's a
That
difference.
Ben King was stricter with them.
There's a difference between not following the rules and
Being
killing.
a cold-blooded murderer, yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
lying.
I can try. She's doing rounds at the moment.
I just think it's worth a shot.
Let's have to get her alone somehow. And this does mean me risking her finding out. Well, I'm going to have to tell her who I am.
I know. But so far, she hasn't done anything. I don't want to kill people who don't deserve it. Theoretically, between us, maybe we could take her. But, because I think perhaps we could have taken Benkin, maybe.
We saw Natasha.
Natasha. What's she up to?
2 days.
See, I just think it would take longer to kill her than that.
Yeah.
And I know Ace wouldn't feel comfortable killing someone. We could be nearby and back you up if it goes badly, and we would have to take that route in the end. We could try, but I don't want
I mean,
to.
if push comes to shove, she only knows Ace as Ghetto, so as long as Ace never became Ghetto again in front of her, it was completely done. I can always fly off and meet you in Paris. It'd take me slightly longer to get there.
It's possible.
I think it would be important not to underestimate this.
Yeah, oh god,
Like-
yeah, that's why I'm making a getaway plan.
Yes, but my point is, I think that the idea that you could simply fly away from them might be underestimating her.
I think in combat we are formidable together. And
I think that any confrontation should be with as much of our collective might as we can bring to bear.
I mean, if we're all on the train, you're never too far away, and I've got a way of calling you.
And as long as we're
I don't want her to feel like she's being ambushed.
Quill, who's in the room next door to yours?
Bray?
The room next door, you're aware, is inhabited by an elven woman and her much younger servant on a lovely holiday jaunt away from her husband, who's on business.
I see. Okay. What about on the other side? Is there a communal room nearby? Something somewhere?
Like a first class meeting room?
Yeah, like
The
the
one
dining
the
carriage.
Grand Inquisitor spoke to Sepsis in.
That is the first class dining carriage. Yeah. That's that.
something like that. Perhaps that would be a good place for a meeting, and we could eat breakfast. We are one of Quill's friends. Quill is first class and has entitlement to use the dining carriage.
Okay, but I'd have to tell her that I have friends in the carriage and in the room with us right now. I'm not going to go into this and make her think that we're ambushing her. I want her fully aware that everyone is present.
That's okay. We can still sit in the corner and eat our food, and you can say they won't interfere unless there's a danger to me.
Well, I can send a message asking her to meet me for breakfast.
I just think it's worth a try, right? Or after the breakfast service is over, we want the dining room to not be full of people, right?
I mean, if it's full of innocents, it might discourage an attack straight away.
Yeah, but they might also overhear some stuff they were never meant to hear.
Preferably, it would be.
And I'm going to have
A
to
bit
shop
more
disguise self at some
secluded.
point, so that's probably a better idea.
I mean, if we could get her here, it would be better, but I can understand why she wouldn't want to come into a random room full of people. But if she's confident enough in her abilities, she might do it anyway. It's worth... Actually, that's...
A late breakfast, then.
Sure, that's...
Brunch.
let's try that.
Okay,
I've heard about brunch.
brunch.
I like brunch.
Okay, I write up a note and I'll get a servant to take it to her.
Okay. What do you want the note to say? You're inviting her to the room for brunch.
Is she coming to the room? Have we agreed the room? Have we?
Well, I don't know.
No, we
Oh,
agree.
no, the first class carriage.
Okay.
Yeah, just I enjoyed our conversation today. I was hoping you would join me for brunch tomorrow in the first class carriage.
Okay.
Sylvia.
All right. So, before the day ends then, is there anything else the rest of you wanted to do?
No.
No, but I am going to wake up in the middle of the night.
Okay. You spend the rest of the day then going over the information from the past day, worrying about what tomorrow may bring, until eventually you find the evening's rest. Oriana, you are purposely going to wake up in the middle of the night?
Yep.
Okay, cool. You wake, everyone else is asleep.
I want to cast Vicious Dream
Okay,
on Ankin, because he's a bitch.
okay.
Whiny little bitch.
So you wake
You're
up.
going to have to talk me through this.
That's fine.
Because it's new.
That's fine. There we go. When this decides that it wants to work. Okay. So basically, you wake up, you look at your watch, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. Figuring in that you know the front lines are somewhere between Paras and Gracia and the Carpathian Mountains. I reckon it's not too far ahead. It's probably still nighttime where they are. Pretty good chance you're going to catch Ankane asleep. You take a minute. You start to chant quietly and infernal, feeling the dark, malevolent whispers echo back from the shadowed corners towards you. And again, you find yourself in mist. As the mist clears, it is dark. There is a beautiful half moon above you, exactly the same as the moon you previously saw outside the window earlier that evening. Before you, there is all across the landscape, a long line of flickering firelight. And as you start to hover and move further towards it, you see these flickering fires, stretching for a mile in each direction, are the fires of camps. And as the spell gets you closer and closer, you find yourself moving towards a tent at the bottom of a valley, well appointed, beautifully made, and suddenly you're inside the tent. There, before you, not laying down, but still asleep, sitting up, is Ankane. He is heavily wrapped in bandages, devoid of all armor now. You can see burns from the heat of the lava, perhaps from the fight he had Benkin over. They will heal. Very little scarring, as it was Benkin who perished in the molten rock, and not him. But you see that they probably still cause him some discomfort. Before long, you realize that you are not seeing this in reality. You are seeing this in Ankane's dream. The dream you currently inhabit, Ankane is in a meditative state, still asleep, but focusing on the here and the now, the reality of his situation, and not some strange flight of fancy that some dreams tend to lead towards. You can shape a creature's dream with this spell. Having found the creature you know as a target, and they are on the same plane of existence as you, while in this trance, then, you are aware of your surroundings, can't take actions or move, but you are focused on the trance and the dream that you're in. You can converse with the target. You can also then shape the environment of the dreams. You can change or create landscapes, objects, and other images. What would you like Ankane to see?
I'm going to take him back to when the bridge collapsed.
Okay.
With a hell of a lot more fire.
Okay.
And then stood behind him is a human. Male or female, doesn't matter. Holding a skull. Who leans forward and whispers into his ear, "Remember you are mortal." And then pushes him off the edge.
Okay. So, what is your spell DC?
I don't know.
I don't know. Could be anything.
It could be anything. What is my spell DC?
Your character sheet.
Yeah, where do I find it on my character?
Spells.
If you go to
It's at the
spells,
top of-
it's at the top.
The save DC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
18.
18? Okay. And... Okay. So his wisdom save, he rolled a 2. Roll me damage for Vicious Mockery.
It's 2d4s. Eight.
You see then the world shift around you, and you are once again at the bottom of the collapsed bridge, watching Ankane above as a human figure appears holding a skull in their hand and whispers something over his ear, and you hear Ankane scream and fall as they plummet towards the fire.
Oh.
I want to do that thing, when you wake up from a falling dream and he wakes up and goes,
You want to do that? Okay. He hasn't woken up yet. So, as he hits the lava, following his old master into the lava, suddenly he's back in the chair that he was situated in his tent. His eyes open. He looks around. Completely, at least in his mind, awake. but he's still asleep. What would you like him to see?
I am going to bring up the image of Benkin burnt and just crawling towards him.
Okay. He starts to back away from Benkin.
It starts just screaming and begging and asking why.
Okay.
Sorry.
Roll me vicious mockery damage.
6.
6. Okay.
If you kill him very slowly like this in one night, just keep casting it.
You can see the words almost spit from Benkin's mouth as ash and ember, and as it does so, as parts of Benkin's tongue hit and burn against Ankane's skin, you can hear Ankane scream again. This time, though, there is a flash of white. The mists come again, and when you blink and open your eyes, you are sitting back in the train cabin. Ankane is awake.
I go back to bed.
Okay.
I ticked off a 4th spell slot.
Okay.
As you're getting back into bed, just go, why are you laughing? Stop dreaming weird.
I'll tell you in the morning.
I wasn't even really awake. It was just
No.
why are you laughing? Shut up.
Okay. You wake the next morning, the rest of you having strange dreams, but none that are easy to remember. You're well rested. Everyone can benefit from a long rest.
Yay.
Including Oriana. You're only awake for about 20 minutes. You're fine?
Yep.
That Ankane was awake for longer.
Yep. That's my plan. I'm not really bothered about doing much physical damage. I am going to psychologically fuck that boy up.
By the time we see him again, he's just going to be like,
He's going to be in a corner crying.
heck yeah. And that would be a win.
Okay. You have 2 days to your deadline.
Yeah.
Apart from,
I've got to go have breakfast with Aurora.
Apart from the brunch, is there anything in particular you'd like to do today?
No, nothing in particular.
Okay. With your breakfast, then, that the waiter brings, comes a response to your letter. And as you read it, it states, my dearest Sylvia, it was a pleasure to meet you also. I would very much like to have brunch with you. However, I cannot do so today. It will have to be tomorrow. I have duties to attend to, and the train, having had all of the problems it has, is not yet quite secure.
Okay.
My dearest apologies. Please reply if this change of plans is to your liking. Aurora.
I squiggle a quick reply. That makes perfect sense and is understandable. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
My dearest Sylvia, it says. I'm reading over Ori's shoulder. You must
Yeah, I
have
can
made
read,
quite the
Quill.
impression.
Quite familiar.
I tend to.
People tend to like Ori. She makes friends very easily.
I can imagine.
Oh, I've learnt a new skill.
What's your new skill?
Well, you know how I can do vicious mockery? I can physically harm someone with my words.
I have been on the receiving end of your mockery. No, I'm kidding. Yes, I'm aware of this.
I've worked out a way to do it to someone in their sleep.
Okay, but if you come into my dreams, I'm going to be real unhappy. Well, if you
I'm
come
sure
into...
I've come in your dreams plenty of times.
If you...
I paid Ankane a visit last night.
Okay.
Did you have some words to say it about his supposed...
Not quite. He knows what he did. I just
Okay.
reminded him of his own mortality.
What did you make him hear? See, I don't know how it works.
I pushed him off the bridge. Oh, I didn't. A human did.
That's awesome.
And then I made him face Benkin. After the bridge.
Ooh.
Wish you know how he felt about it.
Well, he woke up pretty abruptly.
Can any of us scry? I don't think we can scry.
No, that's something I might learn how to do later on. But right now, I'm enjoying this.
Just a casual bit of mental torture. It's fine. Ankane Quill, you should know, is a real bastard. You might have figured this out, but he's really not a nice guy. Very anti-human.
It sounds like he richly deserves the treatment he's getting then.
Oh, he does.
I spent some time filling Quill in on everything that happened.
Okay.
Like telling him the whole thing of being contracted to go down and then discovering that the Drow were actually good. And
I mean, we had a suspicion the Drow were good people anyway because of the Dryder.
yeah. But yeah, I tried to fill Quill in on as much as that as possible.
Yeah.
Sounds like quite the adventure.
It's Phil.
It will.
Is Quill like furiously scribbling notes?
Yeah, very much so.
Alright.
Quill has been told, like,
Oh, and then after we left, I had a dream on a boat where I saw Benkin. So that's,
that's why we need to find a Grecian temple.
that's why I need
Like a dream or a dream?
A dream.
Hades told me to find his temple, and Benkin was with him, essentially.
Are all of the knights worshippers of Hades?
Actually,
I don't think any of them are.
Peculiar.
Benkin was one of the first people I have met since leaving our home that didn't immediately stare at my tits.
Hmm.
In fact, not once did he ever comment on how I look.
He was a
He
nice
just spoke with me.
I can see that would have left an impression.
Yeah.
He was a really good person. Unfortunately, it didn't help in the end, but he was a good person. And to be fair, Ankane, I would cheerfully, one of the few people in the world I would cheer, apart from the Inquisitor, that I would cheerfully put my fist through his heart. But
I'm usually a quick, painless death kind of girl, but there is Ankane and the Grand Inquisitor,
High Inquisitor.
High Inquisitor, whatever.
yeah, he ain't that great.
You haven't met the Grand one yet.
I would. Slow and painful mental torture seems fitting.
That sounds good.
Indeed.
I won't do it to the Inquisitor yet. I've got this horrible feeling he'd use it as a way of tracking me.
Or he'd enjoy it.
Probably.
Ugh.
I feel sorry when he cleans his sheets.
I don't want to think about it. Ever. Ever. That's not okay in my brain.
I hope Rosette is okay.
You could message her and find out.
It's too risky.
Well, if you wait until the evening when he's likely to be asleep, if he only lasts 2 minutes, if you wait until like 11 o'clock at night, you could do sending and chances are
Wait until I'm in Paras.
it's probably worth a try. Just to see if she's okay. So we have this meeting tomorrow, which is one day, and then we just have one more day, and then we have to do the thing, so we have to convince her real fast.
Yeah. Fun.
Convince her to change her entire ethos on life, the universe, and everything. One day. That sounds feasible. Sure.
I mean, last time I did it, I just had to go down on her.
Well, yeah, but she hated her husband anyway, and I think she had... Let's hope that this woman has the same open-mindedness. And even then, it wasn't that she believed you about humans, it was that she wanted to get away from her husband and the Inquisitor, and then we convinced her over time that humans were not...
Yeah, but I got her on side by getting in between her legs.
You did. If you can...
Can't do that with a knight. I mean, I could. I don't entirely remember their rules. I tried asking Benkin once and he stopped the conversation.
Yeah, I never got the chance to ask the matron mother, and I think now might not be the time, what with her being in prison and all.
Yes. Oh, Ankane might be there for that.
What a wonderful opportunity.
He's currently touring the front. Oh, by the way, he's quite badly beat up from that fight. He's bandaged up like a mummy.
So if we rescue the matron mother, we can kill Ankane at the same time!
Maybe.
It
I think
sounds.
he's going to do something to kill himself, but yeah, okay.
Oh, if that would be the best outcome for everyone. In general.
Yeah. Let's get some lunch and, I don't know, sleep, chill out,
Have a
pass
day
time.
relaxation. I can't risk going down to see the humans right now, so
No.
I hope they're okay.
They will be. No matter what, they will be.
At least I know that eventually they're going to be saved. That's what
We're a
matters.
sturdy lot, you know that.
I know there's a lot of children and elderly people down there who shouldn't really be going to this contest in the first place. So, but yeah, right. I think we'll chill for the day.
Okay. Well, is there anyone else who wants to do anything apart from chill for the day? Okay. As the day progresses, then, the only thing of import that really happens is that the waiter knocks on the door. Monsieur, might I have a word? The Inquisition, or might I have a word in private?
Certainly.
And he steps back out into the corridor where there is no one else.
I will step out with him.
The Inquisition.
I am ear to the door straight away.
I'm with Ori.
The Inquisition are asking. They are trying to move everyone up the train. Of course, I've told them that we cannot ask our first-class passengers to expect to house some of the the people who cannot afford this type of opulence. But I have been threatened with dismemberment if I do not at least inquire. And I was wondering, as you have, of course, already offered at least part of your suite to some of the people who originally bought the lower price ticket, whether you may be able to offer any more room.
Oh, suite's full.
Oui. Of course, my apologies for even bothering you with this. It's just we are trying to leave at least two empty, or they are trying to leave at least two empty carriages between the passengers and the cattle in the rear carriages.
Well, I believe the Inquisitors have a carriage all of their own. I'm sure that they could share with people from the further back carriages if that's their need.
Of course, I will explain to the Inquisitor that or the knight herself that yours is already full, and I will impart her words on the others. You, of course, already have many people. Anyway, again, I am sorry. Thank you. Have a pleasant evening. Au revoir. And he walks off.
I'll go back inside.
And you hear him knock on the cabin next door.
They're trying to clear out the rearmost two carriages.
We heard. It's interesting. I wonder if they'll be able to get anyone to move. That man is having the worst day.
I suspect if he doesn't find people who will take in passengers voluntarily, that the next time of asking may be less polite.
At least you can say that your room is actually already full.
Yes.
You came with regular passengers. Two of us already share a bed.
Indeed.
Okay, your bed, but still. Sorry about that.
Fine.
You're a very gracious host.
Well, if you're sharing, it makes more sense for you to have the larger bed.
I get cuddles this way.
I'm very pleased for you.
It's very hard to spoon. It's going to be a weird day.
Okay.
I'm going to raid Ori's alcohol stash and have a couple of glasses of something, staring at the air.
I'll be in with you on that.
Ori does have a substantial alcohol stash bought in Jodem.
Yeah. Remy hooked me up.
Yeah. But yes, as then the train continues on and the day passes in drink and contemplation, you go to bed, to sleep, perchance to dream.
Yeah. Sorry.
And we will leave it there for this episode. Thank you very much for avoiding a fight, so I didn't have to go to the very bad battle map overlay, which I was not able to fix in studio mode because it was the fucking Streamlabs, man. It's so finicky. But yes.
Dice of the Beholder brought to you by OBS Streamlabs.
But yes, we'll leave it there. Thank you, everyone who has watched. Thank you, those who will watch. Very, very sorry about the beginning. I don't care about people telling me not to apologise. I will apologise anyway. I promise you it wasn't my fault. It's just every time I try to click on something...
Well, if it wasn't your fault, then you shouldn't apologise, should you?
Definitely.
Oh no, I've been caught in a cage of logic.
Literally had to press one button.
It
3 letters on it. That's it.
I was
Only
was pressing Alt.
You didn't even have it in full screen after telling me you had it in full screen.
I had it in full screen. It's not even in full screen now and it's working, so you were obviously lying. Right.
You put it in full screen so it works. But don't make me come on camera.
If you come on camera, everything fucks up, so please don't. Right. AD, you son of a bitch.
It's not me.
But no,
It's Greg. No, I said that's who I'm talking to. AD, I believe you've got an announcement for this week.
I stayed around, so to speak.
Is it this week something's happening?
The Q&As or
yes.
Are you expecting something else?
Q&As.
Why be cryptic, mate? Just house brick.
Fucking say it.
Just get to the point, man. Jesus. AL, press Alt. Just press Alt and drag. All right. Yeah. So this week will be pretty much, give or take a day, the year that the channel's been going, bringing RPGs to the wonderful world of people that have been locked down and watching us roll dice and make stories. Woo! So every session that we normally have this coming week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and your lovely selves on the Sunday, we'll be doing a Q&A with the parties and the relevant Dungeon Master. And it will give a chance for the DMs to ask their players what we're going through their heads at some decisions or what NPCs they liked and all that good stuff that, you know, there's usually a separation between DM and party. It'll give the players an opportunity to ask their DM exactly the same questions. What would have happened if we went left? We don't tell them it's a roundabout and it all goes where we want it. But yeah. And obviously, we're lucky enough to have a small community building up behind HWG, Dice of the Beholder. So it'll give an opportunity for, especially like Big E, if he wants to throw a lot of questions at you lot, or Stu, and you know all the others. I'm not listing them off, but all you lot that watch on a Sunday might want to ask a few of the players or yourself what's going on, where ideas came from, what was the inspiration behind the Inquisitor, not me.
And the answer to every question, Greg, will not be Baldur's Gate 3 or the MCU.
Definitely, that is a
Star
question
Wars.
I will be bringing up myself next Sunday. I've got the synopsis
how much
for Baldur's
have you
Gate
stolen
3.
from Baldur's Gate?
Yeah. So yeah, so it's a lot of Q&As. You know, it's just a bit of a break, a bit of a thank you to everyone. Where we've done a year. We had 100 followers on the start. We're now 600. You know, there's artwork that's been put into channels. There's a e-magazine being made, and it all comes off fellow geeks just watching us be geeky. So we could just have a bit of a Q&A, a bit of a piss up. No doubt my lot will be on the wang.
So on Tuesday we've got Fables.
Tuesday, it's Fables Among Titans.
Yeah.
Thursday it will be the Carbon 2185, lots of the Cyberpunk one that's based on 5e. Friday is the Short Rest Tavern lot, who actually launch their channel tomorrow. So about 7:30, the Short Rest Tavern. Go check it out. They're doing Candlekeep Mysteries at the minute, or they're going to start Candlekeep Mysteries. So we'll do a Q&A with them on the Friday, and then Sunday it'll be yourselves.
Yeah. So come along.
I think Sunday with us might also be a belated birthday party.
Yes.
3 of us have birthdays this week.
Friday and Saturday, so it's going to be, we can have a drink on Sunday.
Emma and myself are on Friday. We both turn 30, and then Millie's birthday on Saturday. And I don't know how old Millie is. So
21.
Oh, there we go.
Correct.
What's the guess, to be fair? What was the guess?
But yeah, so please join all of the streams if you can, but especially us, obviously, next Sunday.
Yeah.
And ask us any questions you want to. I don't know about the rest of it. Well, most of us will, when talking about D&D, waffle on for hours quite happily anyway. Any questions you have about our previous campaign, we've all got stories, favorite moments and stuff like that. So yeah, there'll be lots to talk about, lots to discuss, many funny anecdotes from the previous campaign, and I'm dreading now any questions you might ask about.
Well, Norton as well, but it'll be the same
So many
time
uses
slot.
for a bag. So many uses for a bag of holding.
What was that, 80, sorry?
It's worth noting it'll be the same time slot.
Yes, same time slot
So
next
you'll
week.
still finish at around 11. So.
Yeah. So same time slot next week. Lots of D&D discussion. Well, same time slots for all of the streams this week as they would be normally. But yes, lots and lots of tabletop role-playing conversations to be had, and quite a few of them are LARPers as well. And if you want a funny story about roleplay, ask them any question about stuff that goes on in a field. Actually, think about that. Don't. AD might get banned from Twitch.
What happens in the field stays in the field.
I'm vetoing that.
Yeah,
Vetoing
you
that
can't
right
do
now,
that. Yeah, it'll breach.
You're on the list, Rich.
It'll breach
you
community
yourself
guidelines.
are on the Rich. Never mind anyone else.
It'll breach community guidelines. But yeah,
At some point, Biggie will have Greg DM and Bri can play.
one day.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'll
it's about
actually
to roll.
DM my horror at some point.
I'm working on a campaign. We've been talking about this for ages. Eventually, I'm gonna do one session a month and give Bri a weekend off and a chance to play, because he does actually like to play D&D. He's just too good at DMing, and he's ruined it for himself.
He's just so desperate to be a Hexblade guy.
Oh
He
my
just
god!
wants-
Once.
I'm pretty sure you're making a wizard for this campaign, aren't you, Bri?
Yeah,
You wanted
Blade
to play a
Singer.
wizard. You can't play. No, I veto Blade Song.
But anyway, yeah, please join all the streams if you can, but especially us, obviously, because you love us. Next week for the Q&As, where we will happily answer any of your questions about this or the previous campaign, or just our love of tabletop role-playing goodness in general. But yeah, as always, please take care, stay safe, wear a mask. Still don't go outside unless you have to, because,
Very peoply.
we haven't missed it that much, have we? But yeah, take care. Follow common sense more than anything. But we love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
See you next week.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Freaky. Oi.
Let's see if Bri can end the stream.
Shut up.
I was waiting for him to wait for me.
Can he do?